from Richmond, the capital of the Commonwealth of Virginia, the American Sports Network is proud to present the Minor League Baseball Sunday Showcase. Tonight, it's Eastern League action as the Flying Squirrels of Richmond host the Akron Rubber Ducks. And welcome to the ballpark with longtime Major League veteran Keith Moreland. I'm Brett Dolan. Thanks for joining us tonight, the 4th of July weekend, Keith. Great crowd. So we're going to see the two best pitching teams in this Eastern League.
Well, you look at the Eastern League over the course of time and the history of this Eastern League since 1923. It's been very much a pitcher's league. The two best teams, ERA-wise, especially in this league, we have here tonight. Don't expect a lot of scoring.
Let's talk about a couple of players, starting first with Akron's Ronnie Rodriguez. Here's a guy who's kind of fallen a little bit as far as the prospect rankings, but it's his versatility that has kept him in the mix.
Boy, you're right. He can play all over the place. He's done a nice job. He's got an 844 on OPS this year, so you look at him, he's done a better job, but he can't play second. He can play first. He can play third. He can play in the outfield if you need him. So he's a guy offensively that you look at him, he's having his best year in a while.
On the flip side, Rando Marino for Richmond is the guy who started the year maybe as kind of a utility individual. He's played himself into an all-star spot.
He has. He's made himself a prospect again. It's very difficult to do in baseball to be what is called a suspect and make yourself into a prospect again. He's done a nice job at that. He can really handle the bat. He's done a nice job bunting. He can steal a base when you need to steal a base, and he's excellent defensively.
Should be a fun night in Richmond, Virginia. It's the Flying Squirrels and the Akron Rubber Ducks. Our starting lineups and our first pitch come your way next on the American Sports Network. Back at the Diamond in Richmond, Virginia for Eastern League action. Tonight, the Rubber Ducks of Akron against the Richmond Flying Squirrels, two teams above 500, hoping to make a run in the second half. Here's your starting lineups for Akron. Todd Hankins will lead off. Then it's Rollinger will be at short. Anthony Gallus had 3 hits last night. Carlos Moncrief, followed by the man we featured in the open, Ronnie Rodriguez. Joe Sever, Bryson Miles, Jordan Smith will be in center, and then Jeremy Lucas will be behind the plate. Defensively for the Flying Squirrels, it's Schroeder, Beltre, and Galindo in the outfield. Delfino Marino, Slater, and Oropesa around the diamond. And behind the plate, it is Jackson Williams catching Adalberto Mejia. And here's his manager, Jose Alguacil, about his starter.
Whether you're looking to rent or buy a new instrument, take private music lessons.
Well, this guy is a young guy. He just got here a couple weeks ago, and he's been doing a great job. And he has everything to be in the next level, which is the big leagues. He has a plus changer, and he uses fastball very well, and he's a young guy with a lot of talent.
Keith, he's a guy that missed the first 50 games of the season suspended, but since he's come back, his numbers over his last 3 starts have indicated a guy who's one of the top prospects.
Yeah, Jose's been a good friend for a long time, and when he looks at you and tells you he's had an awful lot of guys he's been around, that he knows what it takes to get to the big leagues, and this young man is doing what it takes to get to the big leagues, and that's mixed speeds. He is a pitcher. He does at times have good sink, somewhere around 90, 91 miles an hour. But the ability to throw his changeup, look at that whip, folks, that number, 0.76. That's not allowing very many base runners. He's been outstanding since up there. You can see only 2 earned runs in his last 17 innings. But he does change speeds. He can hit his spot. Fastball changeup. He does have a curve and a slider. We'll use the curve not very often. The slider more to left-handers.
Started the season, the number 6 prospect in this Giants organization. Our umpiring crew tonight, Jeremy Rahak, will be calling balls and strikes. Ryan Wills at first base and Ryan Clark at third. And this umpiring crew thrilled that they don't have to deal with the weather tonight after a 2+ hour rain delay last night in front of nearly 10,000 fans.
Well, we do have the threat of some rain tonight, so let's hope we get this in. But I tell you what, my first time in a long time to be back to Richmond. Great old ballpark here, built in the 1984. You know, it's one of those old ballparks you've heard about for a long time. It's good to be back here. A lot of fun tonight already pregame. How about a pitch and catch with your son? I know you've done that a lot. I did as well with mine when he was able to do that. They had that before the game. Everybody able to go out and spend about 20 minutes and play catch in the outfield.
It's been a wonderful weekend here at the Diamond. We're ready for baseball tonight as Todd Hankins steps in for the Rubber Ducks to lead things off. Just 4 for his last 36. He's had a couple of big hitting streaks this year, 2 double-digit streaks. And he'll get to look at Adalberto Mejia.
Mejia, again, will change speeds, establish strike one. If you've got the ability to change speeds, if you can get ahead, boy, you can really make a hitter very defensive.
Game time of the
And
ground
we're
goes
underway
one.
from Richmond, Virginia. 81 degrees, some humidity in the air, but no rain for the time being. And there's a good look at this young left-hander.
It's a big ballpark. Neither one of these teams, a lot of home runs, one with 36, one with 39. Wind blowing in here tonight. You won't see a lot of balls leave the ballpark.
Mejia's next one. Lifted to shallow left center. You hear the call from Beltran. He'll cut in front of Schroeder and make the catch for our first down.
Yeah, the center fielder is always the captain of the outfield. Either guy can make the play, but if the center fielder calls it, trust me, as a ex-corner outfielder, get out of the way.
Here's your dimensions at the diamond. 330 to each corner, 402 to center, but the wind keeps blowing in tonight.
It is. The Hawk coming in, watching batting practice. Guys, we're not leaving the ballpark every day. It's a good day to pitch, no question. And both these teams can pitch. We were talking about in the open. How about one with a 3.02 team ERA and one with 3.10? That's exceptional, folks, in professional baseball.
Just outstanding numbers as you get a look at the conditions in the diamond. Here's Ryan Rollinger, former San Francisco Giant who started this year at AAA. Hit just 175, so he's back here in AA, 4 for 16 with the Rubber Ducks.
Outstanding collegiate player at the University of Oklahoma.
Wisconsin native who found his way to Norman. Part of the scene in AA, you'll see some guys on the rise, a few that have had the taste of the big leagues back here in AA, including Rollinger, and he'll take the walk, and he becomes the game's first base runner.
Well, you know what? That is an interesting way to put it. You're absolutely right. You can get to the big leagues so easily from right here, but you also can be so far away right here. I think that's the best way to describe that. You hit it perfectly, because there's time when you've gotten that taste and you didn't take advantage of it, you may be getting further away from the big leagues. And then there's those guys that are getting a taste of here, that their next step could very easily, they could bypass AAA and right into the big leagues.
Well, we've seen it just over the last month in the majors. So many guys going straight from AA to the majors. And here's Anthony Gallus, the DH.
I saw Anthony taking BP today. Now, this is a first-class, 100% excellent beard. I'll just tell you that right there. That's how it's done.
It's the most interesting man in the world type
Yes,
beard.
it is.
Non-drafted free agent. He's hit 7 home runs to lead the club after last year hitting 24. So he's got some pop, and he's got that beard working for the Rubber Ducks.
Has not found that hot streak. You know, as a hitter, sometimes you just, you know, he's just been plugging along. Decent numbers to this point, but he just has not gotten hot.
Checked his swing and rifled one up into the upper tank down that right field side. Of course, he does like hitting at home a little bit better than on the road, but last night, aberration, 3 hits, 3 for 4. And Keith Akron had a 20-inning scoreless streak that they finally snapped with 3 runs in the 9th to get that monkey off their back.
Well, again, this is a pitcher's league, and across the league, runs are down, and you know, it's both these teams especially, they do a good job of staying in the game. Neither one of these teams are going to blow each other out with the pitching staffs that we've had.
See the lead for Rollinger. Mejia will work to the plate. Held right there at the dish by Gallus.
Good bender right there. Good location. Tried to get it in under his hands. Gallus does a nice job of just fighting this ball off.
Talked about the numbers for Mejia, though. You're looking at a guy in this last 17 innings with just 2 earned runs, and the number that strikes me, 1 walk. He's not putting guys on.
Great command and the ability to use his changeup.
Trying to work around a walk here in the first tonight. Facing the DH, Anthony Gallus, out of Kent State University, and a big swing and a miss. So that's a strikeout, his first of the night.
That was set up by the 2 off-speed pitch, the changeup and the breaking ball. And then he comes right back with the heater, climbs the ladder out over the plate, and it's just by you. Time you see it, it's by you. And you can see Gallus just tardy. Watch this ball get by him. Yep, couldn't get on top of it.
What great location on that outside corner. He a big guy, 6'3", 205 pounds. Facing a left-hander, Carlos Moncrief, the right fielder for Akron. Late on that 90-mile-an-hour pitch. Moncrief, drafted in the 14th round. Another guy who started the year at AAA. Hit just 187, so finds himself back here in the Eastern League. He's the number 16 prospect in this Indians organization, so they'd like to get him on track.
Well, he's got all the tools. He does have power. He's had the ability to hit. They really feel like he can hit. Excellent defensively with a plus arm in the outfield. This is one of those guys that's just a mystery to farm directors sometimes. What are we not doing right to get this guy going? They'd love to find a place to get this young man going.
Led the team last year at AAA in hits with 130, facing Mejia tonight, but hitting well below 200 in his time in the International League this season. Down in the count, 0-2. See Williams set up outside, and the breaking ball for a swing and a miss. 2 in the inning, so a walk, couple of Ks, and nobody left. And we'll get our first look at the Flying Squirrels when you come back. Akron failed to score in the top of the first at the Diamond. Now it's Richmond's turn. The Flying Squirrels starting lineup looks like this. Miles Schroeder, then Rando Moreno, and Hunter Cole, the first 3. Mitch Delfino, Ricky Oropesa, and Austin Slater in the middle. Finis Beltre, Williams, and Galindo rounding out the starting 9 for the Flying Squirrels. Defensively for Akron, Miles, Smith, and Moncrief. Moncrief had 22 outfield assists last year. Hopefully we'll get to see his arm tonight. It is Sever, Rollinger, Hankins, and Rodriguez around the diamond. Lucas catching Jordan Cooper. And here's the Akron manager, Dave Wallace, on his starting pitcher.
He will do a good job of pounding the strike zone. He's not going to light up the radar gun, but he's going to pitch. He's going to pitch inside. He's going to pitch out. He's going to pitch up. He's going to pitch down. He's going to change speeds. Got a nice little cut fastball to go along with the fastball. Big breaking ball and a nice little changeup. So it's going to be fun for guys that to watch that aren't exactly flamethrowers, you know, and hopefully get a good lesson of what pitching really is.
Keith, he put up good numbers at AAA Columbus, 3-2 in ERA, 3.5, and he finds himself back here in the Eastern League.
Well, I think a lot of things, this is numbers at that level. A lot of times you look at the numbers, they say, he's pitching pretty well. We may not be able to get him the ball on a regular basis, but we can at Akron. So you go back and allow a guy to come back and get the chance to get the ball every 5 days. When you look at it, I think one of the things that's important to me, that the difference is the command of his cutter. If he can get command of his cutter, he can be very effective here tonight.
He'll face Miles Schroeder to lead off to start the bottom of the first.
How about 3 switch hitters in the Flying Squirrels lineup? Organizations love switch hitters.
We've got some versatile, valuable players at this level. Richmond has lost 3, maybe their 3 best players in the last week. That's not uncommon this time of the year as you take a look at Schroeder. It's an interesting story we'll talk more about later on tonight as he takes a strike, hitting .272 on the season. Jordan Cooper, the 26-year-old, gets his first strike at a foul ball. He's a Kansas native, a Wichita State product. Good baseball program, Wichita State.
Nice job to come make a good pitch right there. Would not be surprised to see him change speeds right here.
That ball drilled to right, hit well. Miles Schroeder has started the bottom of the first with a long one.
It's a Squirrels home run.
A Richmond team that hit just 9 homers all of June. They've hit 7 in the month of July.
Well, folks, if there's such a thing as a stone hanging cut fastball, you just saw it right there as Cooper just leaves this ball right up in Schroeder's eyes. And boy, he does a nice job of not missing a pitch up in the zone. Did a nice job of putting the bat on the ball. Didn't think we would see many balls get out of the ballpark tonight, but that ball was crushed.
That got out in a hurry, and here's Moreno, the man we featured in the open. An all-star in the Eastern League. This is first year in Double-A. Hitting .306 with just 1 home run on the year.
Yeah, he's really done a nice job of adapting. He got into professional baseball in 2011. He's working his way up. He's a young guy. Switch hitter. He's getting his base hits. He could always handle the bat, get the bunts down, move the runners, steal a base when he needed to, and played excellent defense. But coming into his own as a hitter right now.
Earning that trip to the All-Star game with a .306 batting average. Now the count has gone full. Just underway from the diamond tonight in Richmond. Brett Dolan, Keith Moreland, Monica McNutt on hand for some Eastern League action. Low pitch rolled towards Hankins. He'll make the play and retire Marino for out number 1.
Batting third.
The locals out here say it's on the boulevard. The diamond on the boulevard. It's located on North Boulevard Avenue here in Richmond.
You drive up and you see it from the freeway. It has kind of an old-time big league ballpark.
It does. I told you it's got the overhang. Reminds me of Old Bush Stadium.
I would agree. See the double-deck facility. You also see Hunter Cole. He stepped in his first at bat yesterday in the diamond. He hit a home run to left field. Georgia product. He had 42 RBIs in A-ball, so he's one of the guys who's new to Double-A, but he earned his opportunity to get the promotion.
Just keep making an impression. Obviously, the Flying Squirrels, part of the San Francisco Giants organization, which is known for having such great pitching from top to bottom throughout the organization. He's trying to make it impress as an everyday player. That's a good breaking ball right there.
Real good slow curve to Hunter Cole. Played for both Augusta and San Jose, low A and high A. Hits that ball down the left field line, and it is foul in the bullpen.
Boy, if you're going to try to sneak that fastball in there, Brett, you got to get it in. You can't leave it. You can't leave it too much over the plate. Cooper that time tried to get inside. It's a good idea to go in at that after the slider away, but did not get it far enough inside. Got away with it, though.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Cole, batting here in the bottom of the first. A run home on the Miles Schroeder home run. Another fastball to hit, rope foul wide to third. Coaching over at third, Jose Alguacil.
Jose, such a great guy. Known him an awful long time. He's done a lot of different things in professional baseball. He's been a traveling instructor. An excellent. First time I came across him about 10 years ago.
That's a swing, so Cole will take off to first base. The strikeout completed on the throw from Lucas to Rodriguez.
He was managing
number 10, Mitch.
the New York Penn League and rookie ball for the first-year players that are just coming out in professional ball. Did an outstanding job at that level. Giving you guys an idea, because when you get into professional baseball, it's a lot different animal than anything you've ever done before.
There's David Wallace, the manager for Akron. He goes back to his days at Vandy. He was a 2-sport star. He was a quarterback in the SEC in addition to his baseball time. There's Mitch Delfino, the cleanup hitter, the third baseman, taking strike 1. You're a 2-sport star in the SEC. You've got some skill.
Yes, you do. Especially the positions that he played.
Delfino homered last night. That's a good-looking pitch for a strike. 0-2. Came out of Cal Berkeley last year. 154 hits in the Cal League, so he put up big numbers there. He's down on 3 strikes, so after the leadoff home run, Jordan Cooper gets 3 straight. But he gave up the home run to start the inning, and the Flying Squirrels lead 1-0. But the 4th of July weekend on the James River, doing some whitewater rafting. This is the Minor League Baseball Sunday Showcase on the American Sports Network. And no, Keith Moreland didn't spend his holiday weekend.
That looked fun.
You were too busy in the airport. Ronnie Rodriguez with a bunt, and it will stay fair, and the catcher Williams able to throw out Rodriguez.
I tell you what, Williams does a nice job here. It's a little bit of a gamble on his part. I believe this ball was going to go foul, folks. He grabs it right on the line, but does turn and make a nice, strong throw right here. I really believe that would have been a base hit, except he thought it hit him in the box. It obviously didn't get called that way. Comes up with it and just gets him by a step. If he busts out of the box the full time, easily a base hit.
1 pitch, 1 out for Joe Sever. And Rodriguez, you can tell he's not used to these games being televised. When you're featured in the open, you got to take a pitch. You got to let us reestablish your credentials. 1 pitch and an out, but here's Sever, the third baseman. He hit a little tapper. First base Mejia will spin, and there's quickly 2 outs. And a couple of balls that combined didn't go 90 feet.
Oh, this is an outstanding changeup right here. This is what makes it. Mejia is so good, is his ability to turn the changeup over. Boy, I tell you what, that was a dynamite pitch right there.
3 pitches, 2 outs for Mejia. Now it's up to Bryson Miles. Keith, the man from your neck of the woods, a Stephen F. Austin product. Born in Tyler, Texas, and he takes one a little bit in.
You just look at Miles' numbers. He's improving. He's got good power. His power numbers have got to get better, though. That's the one thing that needs to improve on. You see that on-base percentage at .324.
A strong throw from Delfino. 3 ground ball outs and a perfect top of the second for Adalberto Mejia. And the Richmond Flying Squirrels lead it 1-0. Richmond leads 1-0. Let's introduce you to the third member of our crew, Monica McNutt. She's enjoying some of the local treats.
I am, guys. That has to be one of my favorite parts about our Sunday night showcases on the American Sports Network. Here in Richmond, it's one of the treats from up in the concession stand. This, guys, is not a donut. It is a fried peanut butter and jelly sandwich with powdered sugar on top. So good. But just like this little treat, the unique flavor of this stadium, the fans here are so unique also. I was talking with some fans earlier today, one who keeps a book of cards for each season. They say that, hey, this is one of the best tickets in town.
Well, they support this team. Thank you, Monica. You're talking about a team that leads the Eastern League in attendance, it feels like, every year. As Keith mentioned, it used to be a AAA ball club, but since they've joined the Eastern League, they've kept those numbers right on rolling.
They really have, and there are a lot of different things. I mean, of course, the guys in the truck loved the hula hoop chain earlier, and I kind of like the watermelon eating contest we've already had. So, and then Monica bringing us, how about a fried peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Ricky Oropesa will pop one up. The wind starting to work this one towards the dugout over near the railing. Lucas Williams arrived at the same time, and that ball was caught. That looked like it was headed for the dugout. Sever made the catch.
But that last minute, it just comes back into the field of play and looks down, finds the railing, and then has to avoid his teammate. Communication, you're not going to hear. There's a good crowd, 8,000 or 9,000 people here. A lot of noise right there when you're on the road. Communication is hard to hear your teammate sometimes.
Well, Joe Sever made the catch. His uncle used to some contact. He's the nephew of John Elway, former Broncos quarterback.
Pretty good baseball player himself.
Indeed. Yankees system.
Yes,
correct?
sir.
Austin Slater, he's a Stanford product. 4 for 23 here with Richmond. Flying Squirrels lead 1-0 on a Schroeder first inning home run. Both of these teams above 500. Richmond 41-38. Akron 43-39. Just a half a game difference in the same division in the Eastern League. And this is a Richmond team, though, Keith, that early this year endured a 15-game losing streak. They were 3-17, and since then they've been as good, if not better, than just about every team in the minors.
Well, a few changes. Obviously, the pitching staff was hung in there, but they started offensively. You talked about the numbers, and that's been the difference, is their ability to swing the bat. They've done it much better here since the 1st of June, especially. They've started getting the ball out of the ballpark. They're starting to do some things offensively because their numbers, the giant chain from top to bottom, year in and year out. At whatever level you see a giant organizational chain has good pitching.
Some outstanding pitchers in a 6-man rotation. Austin Slater fly to center, bringing up Angel Beltre. He's hitting over 300 on the year. Looked at the rotation for Richmond coming into this series. You started to look a few days out and wondered if Tyler Beede might be the guy, a number 2 prospect in the Giants system. He's due to go tomorrow. Talking about a guy that won a national championship with Vanderbilt, twice drafted in the first round. There's one of those guys that fits in that mix.
Yes, he does.
Beltre trying to get on with 2 outs. Another ball lifted in the air. Miles with a long run. Wynn working this one away from Miles. He'll make the catch in fair territory, and that's another perfect half inning. Through 2 at the diamond. The Flying Squirrels lead the Rubber Ducks 1-0. Are you ready for your team your way? Check out the all-new AmericanSportsNet.com for great storytelling and features on players and teams across the minor leagues and colleges you care about. AmericanSportsNet.com. We're at the Diamond in Richmond, Virginia. When we go to the top of the 3rd, it's 1-0. We've got the Rubber Ducks and the Flying Squirrels tonight. And here's Jordan Smith, the center fielder, batting .244 on the year.
It's been a long time, but when I was a kid, I saw a flying squirrel. So I'm serious. I was racing the country in North Texas, and we had some squirrels that they could fly. They leap from one area to the other. They spread out and they sort of glide to the next place. Strange thing to see when you see it the first time.
Well, Todd Parnell, the GM, will join us in the bottom of the inning. He might explain the nickname here in Richmond as Jordan Smith is a count of 0-2.
We've all seen a rubber duck or two.
That's right. Smith out of St. Cloud State in Minnesota, a guy who got his first opportunity to be at a major league clubhouse as a non-roster invitee in spring training. Keith, how important is that for guys to maybe finally get that taste, be around the big league guys in spring training?
I think there's 3 things that are involved in that. I think, one, you're absolutely right. You find out in your mind, say, I can play here. I mean, they may be a little more consistent than I am right now, but my talent allows me to be here. That's one thing. Second thing is you get the opportunity to get some batting gloves from the big batting glove companies and shoes and some other stuff that you get. And then the last thing is there's no question, big league mill money and being able to be involved in spring training. You might make more money in spring training if you can stay there than you will all season long in the minor leagues.
Smith hits a little tapper towards Mejia. He's been able to generate some little dribblers, and he gets another out as he retires Smith.
He's fielded his position very well as well. Got in good position right there. Great pitch, just jammed him inside and bounced off the mound, took his time, knew he had time, got the out.
We've talked about his numbers coming in over these last 3 starts, and through 8 batters, he's given up just 1 walk, no hits as he faces the number 9 hitter, the catcher Jeremy Lucas, an Indiana State product, hitting .230 on the year for Akron. They're the AA team of the Cleveland Indians. Talked about the Flying Squirrels being the AA team of the San Francisco Giants. But Mejia has been on tonight, and he's lived up to the billing that we heard the scouting reports coming in. So far, so good for this left-hander.
Changing speeds. That's the part that's impressed me. Hitting his rhythm and timing, and he's disrupted that timing here through the first time through the order.
You talk about changing speeds. He's also dotted that fastball on the outside corner a few times. And that time a little bit off, so it's 3-1.
Well, it's called arm side command, and if left-handers can get it, that's away from the right-handed hitters. And if they can command that part of the plate, know how to move it out a couple inches, move it back over the plate a couple inches. And then he does that, comes back and reaches back and gets 93, 94. That's the ability to do that. He doesn't pitch there, but that's what he brings to the table. And hey, I've got to get this ball up there this time. Got it by him.
Alberto Mejia had a couple of 90s on the radar gun starting things off, but getting loosened up. That last one, Keith, you're right, 93 MPH. Comes back with 93 again, and Lucas made contact to stay alive.
2 fastballs, 3-1 and 3-2. Would not be surprised right here to see him change speeds.
He's had 4 straight ground ball outs, none of which have been hit hard. One of the top prospects in the Giants system, and he just misses outside. So talking about not walking many, he walks the number 9 hitter, and he wanted that pitch and just didn't get it.
Well, just misses outside too right here. Just tried to stretch it a little bit. Gets that corner, couldn't get it done. Now back to the top of the order.
Face Todd Hankins. Fly to center to start this game. He is the second baseman for the Rubber Ducks. He tries to be quick to the plate and gets strike 1.
Pretty good numbers right there. First year in Double-A.
He's hit a rough stretch as of late. 4 for his last 37. Maybe not a double play bouncer. Marino to Slater. And the exchange caused the drop, but Slater able to get out number 2 in the fielder's choice.
But you're right, no way to get the double play right there. One of the things that you learn as a young player, and this is, again, this is all experience and learning right here. Slater, this is one you come across the bag, get that out for sure. Don't give the umpire a chance to think you bobbled it in the exchange. Get that out. Know that, hey, we just get it. That's all we're going to get with the leadoff hitter at the plate.
So fortunate to get that second out. Here's Rollinger. He walked back in the first. Pretty good scoop over there at first by Oropesa on the low throw from Mejia. Rollinger first reached the big leagues back in 2008. He was there in portions of 09, 2010, 2011, but hasn't been to the big leagues since 2011. But he hasn't been in Double-A since 2012. So hoping to find his swing. Third inning from the diamond here in Richmond, Virginia. Flying Squirrels lead 1-0. First inning home run from Miles Schroeder.
Good fastball right there. He just does that to you. You get thinking, well, I'm going to get a little change. I'm going to get a little this, and then boom. He's got enough velocity, the ball's by you.
He works from the third base side of the rubber, a slightly closed stance with that glove up high. He's missed. It's just been a couple of times off that outside corner.
It hasn't been a friendly zone for him. I mean, because you're right, he has not missed by much. But you got to understand that every strike zone from every umpire is different. Find that strike zone, and you got to work with it as a pitcher.
Hankins always a threat to steal. He swiped 25 last year, has 16 this season. His success ratio not a good one, but Mejia trying to keep him close.
Good time to go right now.
Mejia thinking the same thing.
Well, you got a 2-1 count, so as a hitter, you're not protecting anymore. You're looking for something you can put a good swing on, but you'd love to see that guy into scoring position right here.
See what manager Dave Wallace has in store. 2 balls and a strike to count to Rollinger. Good call. There goes Hankins. Pitch is high. Throw is late. And it ends up in shallow right. Marino has a play at third base. But a stolen base and an E2 puts a Rubber Duck 90 feet away.
Well, he got an outstanding jump. Took advantage of it. His throw just sailed a little bit. See this ball coming out of his hand. He gets a good jump right there. He was on first movement. As soon as Mejia raised his leg, he was off to second base. The throw into the runner. That's difficult for a second baseman to make that move. If the throw tails to the first base side, Brett, and it's a shortstop covering, usually that play gets made. But a second baseman's going so hard to the bag to cover that when the throw's back behind him, it's hard for him to reach back and try to make that play.
It's a great point. It's been a busy inning for Slater over at second base. Rollinger has a chance to produce the first run for Akron with the infield back, and he'll take a strike, and the count has gone full.
That's when you've got a little bit of confidence problems as a hitter right there. 3-1. You know, I've seen Ryan hit a lot. I saw him play an awful lot at Oklahoma. He's a good hitter. Didn't think he would be taking a 3-1 high fastball.
Williams sets up in. Here's a payoff. They have chased that one and fouled it back.
That's that little, it's what happens to you. You start getting ready to hit, you start having that confidence, and then you lose that confidence to hit. Then all of a sudden you're second guess what pitches you're going to swing at. You start to guess, you start to anticipate instead of see the ball and hit it. Make it very simple.
Worst thing you can do is think.
Boy, you try in baseball, you're in trouble.
Try and react instead. Another payoff pitch. That one hit high and deep down the left field line. Into the corner. Home run distance, but foul by about 15 or 20 feet.
That's a good swing right there. Just a little bit out in front. You can see him right there.
He knows it.
He had a pitch to hit. Hit it good, just pulled it foul.
This is manager Dave Wallace. He knows that Rollinger just killed left-handers last year. I mean, his splits were wild. He was well up over 330 against southpaws, but he's facing a good one tonight at Mejia with Hankins 90 feet away at third. Mejia trying to protect this one-run lead, and there's another foul ball. So this at bat now starts to add up in the number of pitches.
3-1 fastball. 3-2 change that he pulls foul. Next 3-2 pitch fastball. I got to tell you, I'm looking for a hook right here.
Now you're thinking.
Yeah, sure. I'm anticipating. I got to react to heater, but the back of my mind right here, I'm thinking, you know, he could pull a string right here.
You've been right so far. Let's see what happens on the payoff. Missed up and out. He walked Rollinger for the second time tonight.
He just missed with the fastball. It's almost like he said, you know what? I'm going to try to get an even count. Well, real opportunity for the Rubber Ducks here with runners at first and third.
And Anthony Gallus heading to the plate. Looking at a guy who is a non-drafted free agent coming out of Kent State, batting third in this lineup, leading this team in home runs with 7, coming off campaign last year where he had 24 between A-ball and AA. If you talk about the need to try and make a mark when you're a non-drafted guy, I mean, you don't have that great margin of error that those high drafted guys do.
Well, you too. He's done well enough to be an all-star in this league, in the Eastern League. I think one of the things that he's done, and he's done better, is the fact he's been more consistent. You know, look at 268. You say, well, that's not consistent, but he's a power guy. He's a guy that drives the baseball, and he's been more consistent in that department. His OPS is up this year from any year of his career.
See his numbers on the season, the Kent State product. Probably a thrill to be signed by the Indians. Kent State made that run a couple of years ago.
Sure did.
Every year it's one team. Sometimes Stony Brook, it was Kent State that season.
Well, right here we're in the home
That's
ballpark.
right.
VCU got to the Super Regionals.
You knew where I was headed. Rollinger hit that long foul ball, went over the VCU baseball sign down the left field line, and they've been the tenant in this facility along with the Rubber Ducks. They were their surprise team this season.
Gave the Hurricanes all they wanted.
Rubber Ducks on the corner here in this third inning, trying to get on the scoreboard. 20 innings without scoring until they plated 3 runs in the 9th last night, part of a 7-3 win. Richmond was happy for the win. They were just happy to get the game in after a 2-hour delay and a huge crowd here at the ballpark. Deep fly to right, but Galindo will come drifting in, and he will make the catch to end the inning. So a couple of runners. Rubber Ducks do not score. Don't go anywhere. Todd Parnell is going to join us when we come back. 1-0 Richmond. We're at the Diamond in Richmond, Virginia. The Flying Squirrels leading 1-0, and they love to have a great time here in Richmond. And the man who makes it all go is Todd Parnell, the GM, and he joins us. And thanks for your hospitality this weekend.
Great to have you guys here. Always good to see a former Philly here, right here. My dad's going to be so excited with Keith today. So been a great holiday weekend. I'm just doing a rain dance right now. Make sure that we can get this game in. There's rain all around us. It affected our crowd a little bit, but we're having a good time with y'all.
Now, they can't see your red, white, and blue pants, but you had all that. There we go.
Oh, we can't do it. I can't get my leg down high anymore.
Well, I can tell you that. I saw you going around shooting off the T-shirts.
I went to college for that.
Did you go?
Yeah, I sure did.
But you know, I'm not sure if I like the watermelon eating contest the best, or maybe even better than that is the hula hoop chain.
Yeah, you haven't seen anything. Yeah, we got some other stuff coming up. Jeff Jarrett, professional wrestlers here from Global Force Wrestling. We're all about fun. Our ownership group led by Lou DiBella, Chuck Domino, our chief executive manager. We come to the ballpark every single day just to have a good time. Our phone number is 359-FUNN because we have so much fun, we have to put another N in it.
Todd Parnell joining us up in the booth, the GM. He was out there yesterday just trying to get the field ready to play. A lot of work went into making last night happen.
A bunch of kudos go to everybody involved. The umpires did a great job, the Eastern League umpires, our manager, Jose Augustil Augie, and Dave Wallace. We all collaborated. I had to do a little politicking, though, Keith. I ain't going to lie. It cost me a couple of Chin Music beers after the game. I had to buy people some beers.
Well, one of the things that Richmond's always done, and it has since this ballpark in 1984 when it was built, they support their teams at whatever level. And y'all really done a nice job of getting involved in the community as well.
Well, we're all about the community. We really work hard to be a 365-day, 24 hours a day impact in the community. We didn't want to be just a baseball team, and that's all about minor league baseball. We try to have a responsibility to make sure that we're doing our part in the community and really being a vital part of everything that goes on in the community. And Pat O'Connor, the minor league president, he really thrives on that.
I want to come back to some of the promotions you're doing this year and some of the unique aspects, but first and foremost, we've got to talk about the nickname, the Flying Squirrels, because Baseball America had their logo mania earlier this year, and you guys came out and through all the brackets and won as the top logo.
We were very proud of that because after 6 years, our fans are still loving the logo. I think I got every Parnell in America to vote for us. And we're a big family, and it's really just indicative that we don't have a honeymoon here, and we're really working hard every single day to make that honeymoon last for 20, 30 years here in Richmond, Virginia. And the Flying Squirrels, I got to give Chuck Domino a lot of credit. He's the one that really was the backbone behind that and really tried to do a lot to get that name.
I saw it earlier, I said it earlier in the broadcast. I grew up in a part of the world that we had flying squirrels, legitimately. And so people go, that's not a real thing. Trust me, it is a real thing.
They are.
I love the logo, the Flying Squirrel, and I was down in your souvenir shop last night, and people were buying up your hats and
T-shirts. Did you buy anything? I got 2 kids in college. Did you buy anything?
I've got 2 that need to go to college. So the answer would be no.
School too, right?
But I know the fans were buying it up. So tell me about what the reaction was first and foremost when you guys released the logo.
Well, it was the Richmond Braves have been here for 40 years, so it was a little bit of a courage move by our ownership group. And Lou DiBella always teaches us you got to have courage, you got to go for it. And Chuck Domino the same way. So we were talked about a lot, but we have thick skin, and we believe that the kids would really connect to the Flying Squirrels name. And we have 25,000 kids in our kids club now, which is phenomenal. And we really just believed in it. And the Have Fun, Go Nuts logo or slogan is something that's really our mission statement.
Talking with Todd Parnell here at the Diamond in Richmond. Talking about this logo.
The other thing that I know you're very much involved is your concessions. Talk to us a little bit about
you. Call me fat, Keith? Did you just call me fat? I've been working out hard.
I guarantee you that I'm fatter than you are. So.
We'll have a fat contest after the game. You want to?
But talk to us about it. I know y'all are very proud of that as well.
Well, it's food and beverage in our kind of operation isn't food and beverage. It's a marketing tool, and we have all kinds of things, the fried peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We have our own beer and Chin Music that I think I saw a 6-pack around here somewhere. And we have a foot-long hot dog that we're trying. We think foot-long hot dogs really need to be a central part of America again. So we have foot-long hot dogs, all kinds of specialties. The giant burger for our Major League affiliate is just a mound of everything put together. So we're going to send one of those up to you here in a little bit, though. I saw it on the grill coming up. So food and beverage in minor league baseball, not just in Richmond, but everywhere, is all about the whole experience. From the time you get out of the car to the time you get back in, no matter if your home team wins or loses, it's all about the experience.
All right, talking about wins and loses, that's the one thing a minor league GM can't control.
It's raining. Look at that. People got their umbrellas out. I'm still working, sorry.
You can't control the weather. Take that 2 things you can't control, right? Weather and winning and losing. Your team went through a 15-game losing streak to start the year, and you made a proclamation towards the end. Tell our viewers what you were going to do.
Well, I after a 15-game losing streak, and I love our players. I love Augie, and I love the San Francisco Giants. I said I'm going to put on our uniform, and this body, Keith, does not look good in the uniform. I'm going to drive to Altoona, Pennsylvania, where we're playing, and I'm not going to take the uniform off, nor will I shower until we win a game. And luckily, we won that night. I took my 17-year-old daughter with me to the game, so you can imagine how embarrassed she was of her not great in shape dad walking around the ballpark in full uni from head to toe. We won the game, and then we went on the streak. We were like 35-12 after that. So it's not about the players catching and hitting. It's about me threatening to not shower. So
You think that's the difference?
if we need something else, I just won't shower.
Miles Schroeder,
nice
and he was denied out there in center field by Smith. Fine play
All right, fans,
to end the
here comes
inning.
the Luxton
We'll come
Browns
back to
Jersey
Richmond. We
Breaking
played 3. The Flying Squirrels lead the Rubber Ducks 1-0. More with Parney in a moment. Richmond leading 1-0 as we go to the top of the 4th. Miles Schroeder denied a base hit, Keith, on the final play of the last half inning. Watch this catch by Jordan Smith in center.
Well, he lays his body out. Great timing. And when you leave your feet, you've got to know you've got backup. He had good backup. You can see the left fielder coming in to the picture. 2 outs is the one time that you can leave your feet and feel pretty comfortable as an outfielder. 2 outs and nobody on.
Now Carlos Moncrief facing Mejia in the top of the 4th inning. Light sprinkles falling, and that's got our guest in the booth, Todd Parnell, a little bit concerned. He might get out of tarp duty since he's joining us, but I know we're trying to do the anything we can to keep that rain away.
We are. I put the rain turtle out there, too, maybe the rain turtle. But I left my feet to go to across the breakfast table for a donut this morning, too.
Well, I tell you what.
There wasn't 2 outs, though. There wasn't 2 outs.
And that ball's going to find its way into right field for a base hit. So Moreno, we featured him in the open. An all-star shortstop has a base hit. I feel like I know Parney already because even before I met you yesterday, I had to high-five you in the press box. Apparently, that's a rule.
That's a rule. You got to high-five me in the press box or you can't be in here.
But you talk about your phone number with 2 N's, F-U-N-N, fun. Now, I can tell that you guys like to have fun because I visited your bathroom and I noticed in the urinals different logos of all the other Eastern League teams.
I don't want to, our president, Joe McCaffrey, does not like that. But, yeah, we kind of did that 6 years ago. And, Joe, if you're watching, I apologize. I told you 5 years ago I took them out. No, I did not. I did not take them out.
I ruined the surprise.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I mean, if you don't like the Mets, you can go to the bathroom over there. If you don't like the Yankees, you go to the bathroom over there. I mean, everybody's got to go to the bathroom, right, Keith?
That's exactly right.
The Phillies are in there, too, buddy.
Well, I know that. The Reading Phillies are, for sure. Talk to us about being involved in the Eastern League and how great this league is. It's, it's the history. 1923, I believe, is when it was started.
It's amazing, Keith. This is my 3rd tour of duty. I worked for the Reading Phillies, and I ran the Altoona Curve, and now here in Richmond. So if I don't get in the Eastern League Hall of Fame, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But I love Joe McCaffrey, the Eastern League president. And truly, if you look at the teams that are in this league, they're teams that really care about their farm systems. You talk about the Pirates and the Phillies and the Orioles, the Mets. All those people really try to build within. And, we were talking off air, Keith, about the Giants. I mean, I can't say enough about our Major League partner in the San Francisco Giants, which is an unbelievable class. I mean, it's good that they've won 3 World Series in the last 5 years, but it's really a classy group, and the people they bring us are just solid. And they help us in our community work a lot. The players and the coaches are always doing things for us to help the Flying Squirrels brand get better in the Richmond region.
Speaking of World Series, and there's your World Series championship. When we come back on camera, I want you to show our viewing audience what you just showed us.
Oh, that little thing?
That little thing.
Okay.
We'll do it after this pitch. Ball and 2 strikes to Ronnie Rodriguez. Gives Parney a chance to showcase his wares, and there we are right there. How about that? That's the World Series ring for the San Francisco Giants.
Bobby Evans, the general manager of the Giants, flew in actually he was in Washington, and he came in and presented those to us after the game. And our owner, Lou DeBell, was watching. Lou, you don't have yours yet, but I got it in my office, buddy. Don't worry about it. I won't go to the pawn shop, trust me. But we really appreciate it. The Giants are just unbelievable class. It's a beautiful ring and something I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
Giants just up the road. They had an early game yesterday in Washington, D.C., playing the night game tonight. And we're here in Richmond, and Ronnie Rodriguez, the batter, here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
One of the other things when you look at an organization, as you were talking about, what they do for you, but the great thing about it is for your fans is in one physical year, you might have 50 players come through here. I mean, that's not that unusual because you have guys that you're moving one direction, maybe moving in another direction, so they get a real good feel of the entire organization.
Well, and here they really develop an unbelievable relationship with the players. And, you know, I went to the World Series last year, and to see Joe Panic playing second base. He was over there playing right there where Slater is in 2013. Bell, Crawford, all those guys, and they make an unbelievable impact. Bobby Evans and I were talking last night. I think there's 15 or 16 Flying Squirrels on the Giants roster right now. So our fans are really starting to get that, Keith, where they can come here and see the guys, and then a couple years later, there they are.
And I know y'all promote a trip out to spring training.
Well, we might promote a thing or two. I don't know. I'm just saying. But, yeah, we take people. That's through our Chin Music beer brand out into spring training, and that'll be next year. So a lot of great things happening with the Giants organization and the Flying Squirrels. And the 3,000 miles, guys, doesn't really matter because of all the – I heard there's a thing called the internet now today and stuff like that. I'm from Locust, North Carolina. We don't know about that there, but
they're flying squirrels there.
There is too. we hunt them too. Don't tell anybody. But people really can connect with the Giants, and particularly if they're winning like they have been.
Ball sucked well to left field, but it's going to be caught for the first out of the inning. Speaking with Todd Parnell, the general manager from the Richmond Flying Squirrels, back in the booth, and we're having a lot of fun in Richmond. I tell you what, you guys and your staff, we've seen how hard they've worked in the last couple of days, and the crowds have turned out, and you guys are cranking it up with some fun too.
Well, they're my family. I mean, I love them to death. All the front office people, I get emotional when I talk about. I mean, in minor league baseball, you spend more time with your coworkers than you do your real true family, and your real true family has to come to the ballpark, Keith, to be able to spend time with you, and they do that on a daily basis. But everybody on staff has just done an unbelievable job, not just this weekend, but the entire. You saw how hard our grounds crew, led by Steve Ruckman, had to work last night, and I can't name them all. They've done an unbelievable job. They get here early in the morning. They stay late at night. They might stay at Parney's Pub every now and then, too. I'll show you all that after the game. It's where unique people meet. But I can't say enough about them. And we get all the great leadership from Lou DiBella, the ownership group, his special staff, and then Chuck Domino as well. We're really, really fortunate.
Double fireworks tonight.
Double feature. You guys are the first part of the double feature. Because you're here. See, we promoted you guys.
Good.
And then fireworks show is the second part of the double feature. And we actually added, so it's not one fireworks show, it's two. We're going to actually shoot the fireworks, I believe, from left center field around where the Budweiser sign. That grabs some buds, really makes me thirsty. And then over here, we'll do it as well on the right field side as well. So two different fireworks shows in one night.
Oh, wow.
And you can actually see them being shot from center field, which people like too.
Number 23, Bryson Miles.
We're having so much fun talking, we forget there's a game going on.
There is a little bit happening right here. It's your ball club with a 1-0 lead right now. You know, the organization always sends you guys that are your managers, and you have to have special relations. And Jose, a friend of mine, I've known him a long time.
Have you really?
What a special man.
He's unbelievable. We were talking about that 15-game losing streak. Every single day, Jose Augustil came into the office, hugged and kissed every single person on the staff, walked around, I mean, from the entry-level person to the interns to me, and said, today's the day. And for 14 days, he was wrong.
but
then he found it. But he's just an unbelievably positive person, and I love him to death. He's a great, great guy.
Bryson Miles will fly out to center, and that will advance Moncrief to third. There's runners on the corners with two gone. We're going to go over some of the tweets he had during that losing streak. You talk about a guy who's inspirational. I mean, he was sending out messages every night to the fans, to his team. And even got a call out, from what I understand, from Bruce Bochy trying to talk him down off the ledge.
Well, I mean, Boch is another guy. I mean, when you meet Boch, there ain't none better. Look at it. Augie actually shaved and got his hair cut for this broadcast, so he's looking particularly good tonight. But, you know, he's just an amazing guy. He relates to everyone, very confident. Even the way he shakes his head there, Keith, you saw. I mean, he's really into what he's doing. Passion is probably the word I think about when I think about Jose. You're absolutely right.
That's a good word to describe it.
I heard he was a fashionista too.
Yeah, he's got me into Robert Graham shirts now. I don't know what that means, but yeah, he actually had to shower, so he smelled good when we got the ring ceremony last night.
Jordan Smith is retired to end the inning. Plenty, thanks for your
All
hospitality.
right, guys. Thank you all very much. Great to have you. We'll see you after the game, Keith.
Sounds good. We will. 1-0 our score.
Everybody joined us for our Independence Day tailgate.
1-0. The Richmond Flying Squirrels leading as we go to the bottom of the fourth. It's been a busy booth, but we got a special guest now. If Parney wasn't on to begin with, we've got the governor of the state of Virginia, Terry McAuliffe, with us. Governor, thanks for joining us.
Well, and thanks for everybody. Great day here in Richmond. We're up 1-0. Just heard the women went up 2-0 in soccer. This is going to be a great night.
It has been a fun night. And what makes Richmond so special?
Well, you know, we are set with the great history of Virginia. When you think about Yorktown, you think 1607, where our nation started. We just celebrated the 150th anniversary of the ending of the Civil War. All of that occurred right here in Richmond. So we have such historic sites. We got great baseball. You know, the Flying Squirrels are such a dynamic part of the Richmond.
Now, I just missed you yesterday, from what I understand, because you were over at Monticello, I believe, in the morning on the 4th of July for a special event. Tell our viewers what you were involved with.
Well, I got to tell you, I was up there yesterday to give the speech to welcome 78 new Americans who got their citizenship yesterday. We had several thousand people there with Thomas Jefferson's home behind us, the author of the Declaration of Independence. And I wish, as the press asked me after, I wish every American could hear what these people got up and said, why they wanted to become an American. You know, it warms your heart. We can never take our citizenship for granted. We got to be civically engaged. We got to vote. We got to be engaged in the political process. And I tell you, it was exciting. These people were from Afghanistan, from Iraq. They were from 40 countries, and they were all waving their great American flags. It really makes us all proud.
On the 4th of July at Monticello at Thomas Jefferson's home, who authored the Declaration of Independence. What a day.
Well, when we're done here, you guys can come over to my mansion. I live in the oldest governor's mansion in America. I installed a kegerator to close a beer deal, so you guys are all invited. You can't do this anywhere else, guys.
Oh,
I
one
can't
of the
turn
other
that
things
into
that I
dishes
want to ask you about that is Richmond is a great sports town, and people at times don't look at it that way, but if you know a little bit of the history, this has been a great sports town for years.
Well, we had the Richmond Braves here, as you well know, and I remind everybody that all the Washington Redskins players live in Virginia. 66% of the season ticket holders are Virginians. So we are sports enthusiasts. I'm working hard to see if we can get the Washington Redskins to come over to Virginia. I'm in negotiations with Dan Snyder. I'm working on a couple other pieces here, but we love sports here in Virginia. Huge sports enthusiasts. And I mean, look at the crowd last night and tonight. Huge crowds here for the game, for a AA game. I think it's great. Shows that, you know, we're all in for the Flying Squirrels. Last year, as you know, we won the division.
Yep.
This year, we're going all the way, man. We're in the league. It's here. I mean, you guys are part of history.
Like to be that.
You bet.
Hunter Cole is the batter. Meanwhile, Moncrief got a base hit. We're joined by the governor of Virginia, Terry McAuliffe, up in the booth, and the Flying Squirrels leading 1-0. And of course, the Redskins have training camp here in Richmond, Virginia. So you bring them in here and coming in a couple of weeks.
I mean, you can actually see it out the window. It is right there. It's about 100 yards from where we are, and thousands of people come out. They'll be down here again in August. A great time. Now we're trying to get the stadium to come over. We're working on soccer. We're working on it all. I mean, we're a booming state. You know, 4.9% unemployment, the lowest in the entire Southeast. Our economy's doing great. Things are happening. We're one of the lowest tax rates, 6th lowest tax rate in America. So if you're home watching baseball and you're paying too high taxes in your state, come to Virginia. Low taxes, we got it all.
I've been driving around your state the last couple of days, taking in the sights, and so many things to do this time of the year because all the tourism just in this state with the history involved. You go to Williamsburg and Jamestown and Yorktown, just to name a few.
Jamestown, Yorktown, Williamsburg. You can go see Mount Vernon, George Washington's home, Monticello, where I was yesterday, Thomas Jefferson's home. You can come here, the sites we have here. This is where Abraham Lincoln came. You know, as you know, the end of the Civil War, walked the streets of Richmond, gave the speech at the big statue of George Washington outside my home. I mean, it's just a great place to be, and over 200 craft breweries are now here in Virginia. We got 100 distilleries. We got 260 wineries now in Virginia. So heritage sites, great place to have a beer, have a glass of wine. Yeah, I don't know why anyone lives anywhere else.
I don't know either. We're listening to that.
Your Honor, I'm not sure, but isn't this for lovers, too? I see that sign, too, everywhere. Talk to us about that slogan.
Now, for 50 years, we've had the most iconic state slogan. Everybody knows it. Virginia is for lovers. Now, you can take that for whatever you want. Beer lovers, wine lovers, history lovers. Or, you come here and you want to have fun. Listen, we're the place to do it. We want folks here. As I say, great sports town. We all love sports here. So Virginia is, and you got to remember, 1607 is when 3 British ships came over. It was a stock trading company, and we have been entrepreneurs since 1607. We just welcomed General Lafayette's ship that came here the other day to celebrate when he came over to help us win Yorktown to defeat General Cornwallis with General Washington. And we just brought that ship over here the other day. I mean, just a tremendous amount of history. And I appreciate you guys all being here. And honestly, take me up on the beer. Literally, we were trying to close Stone Brewery. They were looking at 200 cities. I invited them to the house. I had installed this kegerator. I opened it up, and we had Stone beer in it. The guy says, we're coming to Richmond. This is the place to be.
That's
and I
good.
know, listen, Thomas Jefferson, as you know, Patrick Henry was our first governor. Thomas Jefferson, our second. I know Thomas Jefferson looking down saying, go, governor, go. I like that. I would have done that if I'd invented a kegerator back then.
Governor Terry McAuliffe from the Commonwealth of Virginia. We're having a great time, and I tell you what, he is a great spokesman for this state, talking about all the history that we've had a chance to witness and what's going on in the state of Virginia, not just this weekend, but over the course of the year as the Flying Squirrels look to add to their 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 4th. You've had an interesting background, Governor. You were a banker. You were a young businessman. You ran the DNC. You've run political committees.
Yeah.
What made you want to run for office?
Well, and listen, I started my first business when I was 14 years old. I had to if I was going to go to college. I've started several dozen businesses. I've been an entrepreneur. I've seen the ups and downs like everybody. Became the nation's youngest bank chairman at the age of 30. I like to try. I like to take risks. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But I pinched myself as a very young man being successful at a young age. You got to give back. And I wanted to give back through politics. Ended up being the youngest finance director of a presidential campaign at the age of 23. Became chairman of the National Party, the Democratic National Committee. Have been great friends with the Clintons. I chaired the president's re-election. I chaired Hillary's campaign. I love them dearly. Most expensive friends I've ever had. But I love them dearly.
So we've got an election cycle coming up. Your friend's going to be running. You're going to have a battleground state. You're going to be even busier than you were before.
And she was just here last Friday. She was her first Jefferson Jackson dinner was right here in Virginia. Had a huge crowd, biggest we ever had. It's important. I want to do everything I can to help my friend. But let me tell you, I know her so well. I've known her for 30 years. We go on vacations with them. As I said the other day, when Dorothy and I are on vacation with the Clintons, about 6 o'clock, I'm ready for a beer. It's cocktail hour. I don't go looking for Bill Clinton. I go looking for her. She's a lot more fun. I can tell you. He's fun, but she's much more fun to sit around and have a beer with, I'll be honest with you.
So are you part of that New Year's Eve Myrtle Beach function?
They used to do that for a long time, but then we ended up going to Dominican Republic for a few years. I like to take the president on and golf. He and I are very competitive against each other. Let it be cards, let it be golf, or whatever it may be. But, and then I always involved in campaigns. But it's great being the governor. I can help so many people because you get to make those decisions at the end of the day. And as I say, in my first 17 months, we are shattering every economic development record. We've done about $7.5 billion. That has shattered every previous record. We're bringing jobs in. I've been to China twice, Korea, Japan. I just got back from 6 nations around the globe, bringing businesses in. We got low taxes. You want to come to the American market, Virginia is the place. Deepest port in the East Coast, international airport. Are you kidding me? We got it all. Great universities, great K through 12.
Oh, yeah.
Keith, how would you say no to this guy?
Oh,
he's on a roll.
I know they're great universities now. There's
Where do
no
you
question. I live in Austin, Texas.
I'm from Texas, but originally from Iowa, so I know you know my state quite well.
Yeah, I know every county in your state. I love it, but I've been to every county in your state. But, Texas, very good state, too. So, but, we have a great temperate climate here. I'm sure you guys miss the change of seasons in Texas.
We do.
I love football season. Nothing like, those leaves turning. Oh, my goodness, yeah. And let's give a shout-out. UVA just won the College World Series. They are the champs. Just won that the other day.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Wasn't that great against Vanderbilt? Because Vanderbilt had beaten us last year. So this came back, and we lost the first game, came back the second. We're down 2-0, and boom. It was really great. It really hats off to the Cavaliers.
Keith, the team that wasn't even sure they might even make the ACC tournament ends up winning the national championship.
Right. You have a baseball team in Texas?
Yes, we do. We do.
Just teasing. But we are the home of the World Series champions, which is great. Really proud of them.
Indeed. But you've got one proud Longhorn to your right, so you better, you gotta be careful.
Well, you did just steal our basketball coach.
That's right.
We did. Shaka is an outstanding guy.
He's spectacular. He did so much here at TCU and, got the whole havoc going, which is great. But, listen, he put his time here. we knew he was going to
He's
go.
very
at some
much involved in the community here, too.
Oh,
I
my
know.
goodness, yeah. And he was like a father figure to all the players. So, he had to cycle out some teams before he was ready to go. But they put a great offer on the table, and we all wish him well. And he brought such great prominence to VCU in the basketball program.
His
Just
assistant,
spectacular.
Mike Rhodes, went to Rice the year before last, and he has a personality similar to yours. He's pretty intense. He's a salesman, too. He can get it going.
Yep. I got to tell you, though, I was out here opening day. I threw the pitch out, and our new coach, who replaced Shaka, was the catcher. Man, I nailed that thing. Our head going 102. It hit the glove. He dropped it. Got in front of the whole crowd.
That's why he's a basketball coach.
That's right. And be honest with you, it wasn't 102, but it still was close.
A little hard to handle.
Yeah. I've done about 5 or 6 as governor throwing that. I'll be honest with you, that is not easy. Going out in that mound out there.
Oh, it's not.
I'm telling you,
That was the
everybody
heartbeat.
yelling. Yeah.
I mean, it gets going, right?
And everyone's going to yell at the politicians. I mean,
I know you prepared to give a speech, and you read your speech, and you get ready to go, and that's nerve-wracking. But there's no more nerve-wracking than 60 feet,
and
6
everybody
inches.
yelling at you. I mean, they're yelling at politicians. I get it.
Even your supporters are
Don't
yelling.
bounce it. Just
I got
whatever
5
you do.
kids. They're saying, why are they screaming at you like that, Dad? I said, oh,
Don't bounce
politics.
it.
Yeah, but you know what? Always aim high. Whatever you do,
Aim high.
Don't you dare bounce that ball into the plate. And I haven't done that yet.
Great advice from the governor of Virginia, Terry McAuliffe, up here in the booth with us at the Diamond in Richmond, Virginia. 1-0 Squirrels lead. Austin Slater trying to come through with a big hit, and that tapper up the third base side will be fielded and could end the inning. And does. But, Governor, thanks so much for joining us. It's been a wonderful time.
Thank you. Really.
We're coming over.
All right. You can come visit me anytime you want.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you, guys.
Let's get them started. You ready? You ready?
That's Jeff Jarrett, professional wrestling champion. He'll be on with Monica a little bit later on. Jeff Jarrett, professional wrestling champion, engineering that on-field event, and Monica will be with him a little bit later on, and they're having quite the bout down in the field here at the Diamond. Tell you what, we've been invited.
Heavy gloves right there. That's what you call heavy gloves.
I can't keep track of our social invitations later on tonight.
You're right.
I mean, we're supposed to go to the governor's mansion after we see Parney's pub. Meanwhile, this game heads into the top of the 5th, still 1-0 Richmond leading. Jeremy Lucas, the batter. 9-1-2 against Mejia, and there's a little floater to center, and Beltray will get there and make the catch. Well, the governor's got some energy, though. I like
He
it.
does. He absolutely does. You can tell he loves his state, and he's selling his state anywhere. And it is, if you've not spent any time in Virginia, I actually had one of the years that I played minor league baseball at Newport News, Virginia. So spent some time in this state. Beautiful state. I mean, just all over it. Some of the most gorgeous things. And how much history? It's everywhere. It is absolutely everywhere.
Todd Hankins is the batter, and Governor talking about being at Monticello yesterday to swear in new citizens, and what an event that was. And meanwhile, this game's in the 5th inning. Mejia has worked around a couple of base runners, Keith, but he has come as advertised.
Well, he's done a nice job. Actually, you've got to give Cooper a lot of credit, too, pitching out of a huge jam in the bottom of the 4th inning to keep this a 1-0 ball game. So I'm going to give Cooper some props as well. But the left-hander has been dominant so far, scattering 2 hits. He's walked 3.
Cooper got the big double play. Stranded a runner in the 4th inning. Meanwhile, 1 out here in the 5th. The winds have picked up here in the last hour or so, making this a tougher play. Who wants it? Beltray, the center fielder, and it was his play. And there's 2 outs.
Changing speed, pitch counts back in line. Anytime you start to have some walks, you start looking at a pitch count.
Next week on ASN, the Sunday Showcase, the Spokane Indians and the Hillsboro Hops from Hillsboro, Oregon. Oh, the good time in the Pacific Northwest. Here's Rollinger. He'll go from one end of the country to the other.
Well, it's going to be fun. I have not made the trip out to Oregon. That's my, those bucket lists where you've been in every state. I've been in 49 of 50. This will be my first time ever.
How about that?
My 50th state. So looking forward to next week's in Hillsboro, Oregon.
You and I are tied with 49, but you're going to beat me. My 50th, a little further. I can't drive to that.
I
could swim.
Went to Alaska in college, so I got that one out of the way early.
I'm talking Hawaii. I wish.
Usually it's Alaska or Hawaii are the ones that
That's
are
right.
hanging out there.
Mejia someday would like to make it to San Francisco. He started this season with a 50-game suspension, but 3-0 in the year, a 1.52 ERA. And this has been the one man he hasn't been able to retire. Rollinger's walked both times he's stepped in the box. Looking for a perfect inning.
And sometimes pitchers on the bench, and you've seen this many times too, Brett, they're on the bench, they really are pitching a good ball game. Their offense gets a chance really to give them some separation in the game, and they don't, and it's such an emotional letdown that sometimes pitchers go back to the mound and go, ooh, man, I wish they got me a couple right there to help me out. That's not what we've seen here. He's come right back out and just pounded the strike zone.
He's retired the last 4 that he has faced after giving up a couple of base hits in that 4th inning. Once again, he sees the count go full to Rollinger. The number 2 hitter in this Rubber Ducks lineup. The wind's really picking up, almost blowing straight in or towards that third base dugout as Rollinger walks for the 3rd time tonight.
Anthony Gallus.
So 4 walks and all for Mejia, and you see the winds and the Giants World Championship flag moving in the breeze here in Richmond.
It was blowing straight in over the big monster in center to start the ball game. Now from right to left as we had some moisture come out of the skies. You know, we are an out away from making this an official ball game.
Anthony Gallus is the man who could be that out. He was fly to right, struck out. You just see that Giants banner blowing in the breeze. You think of San Francisco when you think of windy conditions.
Well,
I know you played in it.
Candlestick Park was just, Willie Mays hit over 600 home runs there. It's just mind-boggling how good he was to play in that ballpark. Very difficult place to hit. Now, new Pac Bell, AT&T Center is beautiful. It is a beautiful ballpark right on San Francisco Bay.
Windsock here at the Diamond. In case that rain is coming, Mejia wants to get this out with his team leading 1-0. But it's 2-0 to Gallus. Big hack and a foul ball.
You just had to challenge him right there. And the way you want to challenge now is up and out of the plate. If you want to hit it to right field into the teeth of that wind, go ahead. Don't make a mistake. Up and in right now.
Pretty good lead for Rollinger over at first. Mejia reached back for 92 in the radar gun.
That's a good pitch right there. He just reaches back, lets his fastball go.
That's the location of the pitch that a few of the hitters have let go by. Now you see Williams set up down and in. And we'll do it again. So Gallus, an all-star for this Akron team. His manager Dave Wallace would like to get a big hit. He's got the best pitching staff, the best team defense in the Eastern League, but trying to find some offense. In a tough week. Facing a tough pitcher, Adalberto Mejia. Gallus got a piece to stay alive, so he's working this left hand.
Stays in there on a breaking ball that time. We've seen 4 fastballs and 1 breaking ball. Haven't seen a lot of changes right here. Another good time, 2-2 count to run. Not sure you'll see it right here, but you could put a runner in motion right now trying to get into scoring position with a 2-2 count.
Not going, and that tapper kicks behind the catcher Williams, and Gallus able to spoil another.
Well, now back-to-back off-speed pitches. breaking ball in on the hands, and then that was a changeup that time. Just got a piece of it to keep that bat alive.
Callis making Mejia work. He's up to 80 pitches, trying to get through this 5th inning. Eighth pitch of the sequence. Up and out. The count has gone full. So now Rollinger will be able to take off early on this payoff.
Much easier to score now with an extra base hit with the movement from first base.
It's a 2-out walk that kept this inning alive, and now 9 pitches coming up in this sequence. Rollinger ready to run. Here's your payoff. Ball 4, and Mejia showing some frustration as he lost that long battle. Now the tying run in scoring position, and this worth a quick mound visit from Williams.
Well, he's been a little bit picky tonight. And when I say that, that's the 5th walk of the night. At times, your command's not as good. You know that, and then you get a little cautious. You start trying to pick a corner here, pick a corner there instead of stay in the middle of the zone. And you can see right there, really good job as a pitching coach. When you go out, what is the first thing you want to do? I want to go out, and Steve Klein doing that right there. He's walking out and talking about, hey, you've got good stuff. You got to attack the strike zone. This is one of those scenarios where you go out and say 2 outs, nobody on. And then you walk a couple of guys. You created this mess yourself by not attacking the strike zone.
You're looking at a guy in Steve Klein who just shy of 800 career appearances in the major leagues. Of course, a left-handed pitcher who finished with the Giants, trying to counsel this young left-handed prospect in Mejia, and the walks have been the one blemish really on that pitching line.
And that's just has not been his MO. He's had good command. Command's been a major part of his opportunity. Lefty-lefty matchup right here. Game on the line again.
And Moncrief singled back in the 4th inning. He's on that Indians prospect list, chiming in at number 16. And see, he was a 14th round draft pick. Keith, how much credit do you give the Ducks for being patient and making Mejia work versus Mejia just missing his spots?
I think the second time around, they really have done a nice job of being more patient. They haven't gone after the off-speed pitch. But the other part of that is, there's at times he hasn't been close. He hadn't got the calls early, and now his strike zone is really spread out.
Moncrief hits this one a mile in the air. Beltre waiting for this one to come down, chasing the ball with the wind, pushing it away from him. He'll make the catch to end the inning. So a couple of walks, a couple of men left on, halfway done. 1-0 Richmond.
Minor League Baseball's Sunday Showcase on the American Sports Network is brought to you by CoCareers.com.
I've heard of rally monkeys, heard of rally caps. Keith Moreland, I have not heard of a rally pig until tonight.
Well, there he is. That's Parker Riley right there. He was, I've heard about calling the hogs. That's bringing the hogs.
He's quite content in that journey around.
He sure was.
The warning track here at the Diamond. Here's Angel Beltre, 7, 8, and 9 for the Flying Squirrels in the bottom of the 5th. Richmond leading 1-0. They got a homer from Miles Schroeder to start the bottom of the 1st, and we have not had any scoring since. Jordan Cooper, Keith, you mentioned the job he did to work out of trouble last inning.
Well, he's done a really nice job of finding himself. Early in the game, he was struggling a little bit to try to hit his spots. Since then, he made a mistake to the first hitter of the ball game. And since then, he's done a nice job of moving the ball around. It's exactly what we thought he would do. Hitting the inside and outside, using his little cutter. You say that anytime you say a guy's really found his spots, he goes 3-0 to the first hitter.
I was thinking the same thing. He had a lot of success. AAA, 3-2 in ERA, 3.65 with Columbus. In fact, in June, he had an ERA of 2.5 in 4 starts, and he finds himself sent down to AA, and then he walks Beltre on 4 pitches leading off the 5th.
Number 8, Jackson Williams.
Well, again, I think there's times when, as an organization, and the Indians looking at their organization thinking, hey, we may have this at the big leagues, and we need these guys we want these guys to go to AAA and do this. And sometimes when you start pushing those 10 guys around that are starting at those 2 spots, sometimes you're bumped out. For sure, if they want you to get the ball every 5 days and keep going forward. So this very well could not be really a demotion as much as it's the opportunity to him to get the ball every 5 days.
Well, it's certainly the way you have to look at it. I mean, the one thing as a minor league player, when you start anticipating whether you're going to get moved or you start trying to think along with the organization, that's when it gets in your head and it's tough to find the right focus, I guess.
Oh, that's a good point. You've covered this sport an awful lot in your life, and so we'll get to it after this delivery. We say it every week, and it is so true. You can't control what goes on within your organization or other organization. All you can do is control what you do each night when you go out there. Because if you can play, somebody's going to get you and put you in the big leagues.
And maybe now, Keith, more so than ever. You know, we've always seen scouts at minor league games, especially at this time of the year. Once the June draft is over, there's a lot more scouts. Lucky to get back is Beltre. But now so many organizations have the video, and they can watch games online and scout with videotape, and it just puts another set of eyes on these players.
Absolutely, and you got cross-checkers. I mean, tonight, there are 4 or 5 guys that I played against and played with, or that are here I saw early in the ball game. I walked through and see them, so there's a lot of guys in the ballpark here tonight.
Jackson Williams, he's the batter. Pretty good-looking pitch for a strike. And it's 0-2.
You're having a tough year. And you get to the plate, and the guy just paints you twice. Knee-high outside corner. Not much you can do with it.
Jackson Williams catching.
Can really catch and throw. Out of University of Oklahoma. Saw him play an awful lot in college as well.
.228 average on the season. He chased the breaking ball, and he's down on strikes for the first out here in the 5th. Just the second strikeout for Jordan Cooper in the game. Make that the 3rd.
Now this is a nice breaking ball. His best one of the day. Now that's not the cutter there, Brett. That's when you go straight to the full breaking ball. That was a full slider. It's got a little more movement. But the pitch, I think it's made him more effective for Cooper, is the little cutter. It's just it only moves a couple inches, and it comes into the left-handers and away off the barrel. You want to pitch from the barrel, and it does a good job of doing that.
Beltre off with the pitch, and he's in there with a stolen base. All right, Keith is a former major leaguer. The cutter, I won't say it's a new pitch, but it's one that we see a lot of.
It's in vogue right now.
It is in vogue, as you see the jump here from Beltre. You talk about a hitter in recognition. It's so important. Recognize the breaking ball. When do you recognize the cutter? Is it too late when you make contact that you realize?
Boy, it is hard to pick up sometimes. If a guy.
There's a little line drive to right for a base hit, so the stolen base will be cashed in for a run as Beltre scores on the Galindo single, and the Flying Squirrels lead 2-0.
Boy, speed changes the game. You get on first base, get a good jump, steal a bag, and then it turns into a run. Nice job right here, just dropping the hit. That's a good pitch. As a pitcher, you'd think, well, I delivered a good pitch. The left-hander just dropped down on it, laced it to right field. No chance, even as good an arm as we saw in right field, to do anything with that at the plate. So, excellent jump right here.
Leadoff walk to that man, Beltre, and his stolen base cashed in for a run for that 2-0 lead. And now a concern that Galindo might run. But Miles Schroeder, the batter, and he started this game with a home run over the right field fence, his 4th of the season. We're talking about a guy in Schroeder who didn't have the most direct career path. Another man going, and another stolen base from Galindo. And with that ball into center, it's an extra 90 feet and a stolen base and an E2.
No substitute for speed. Excellent jump again. Got a good pitch on a changeup to run on. And that's one of those right there that, as a catcher, when you throw it, you just say, hey, man, do me a favor, knock this ball down. Because you know when it left your hand, it was not going to be on line. And again, the same scenario we saw the last time. Shortstop covering, throw back to the third base side. all your momentum is going so hard to the bag, and then the throws behind you. It's hard to stop and reach behind you and make that pick. Mask broke right here. Not only do you get an error on the play and a runner to third base, you got to take your mask over to the dugout, and they got to bring you a new one.
Break your mask. We've had one of those stolen base E2s for both teams. Jesus Galindo got his first stolen base, and let's see his jump. Let's see how much movement he gets. He's a top speed early.
He was. He easily had the bag, and I liked what he did right there. He knew he was going to have the bag. He had his head up. Where was his eyes, folks? It was looking in the center. It wasn't back to the plate to see the throw. As soon as he saw that ball go by, because he had great eyes, able to get up and get to third easily.
He forces the infield in all the way around with just one out, and Schroeder with a count of 1-0. Waved and missed at that slow breaking pitch. But Schroeder, Keith, here's a guy. I mean, you talk about unique stories, and I think that's why at least I love the minors. He walked away from baseball after being drafted by the Giants in 2007 to attend to family matters. Placed him on the voluntary retired list, and he came back in 2011. You're talking about 4 years away from the game.
Well, you just no telling what was going on in his personal life, but he got that. You're glad to see a guy like that get that put behind him and go forward. And then I got to give the Giants some credit as an organization to go, yeah, you can. We'll let you come to spring training. I mean, that takes a lot for an organization to say, we still own your rights, but can we let you play? And they did. I think that is commit very for both sides. I like what he had to do to take care of his personal stuff, and then the Giant organization from allowing him to come back, give it a shot.
He's homered tonight, and he'll swing and miss right there. But you've heard guys that have missed seasons because of injuries. They come back, and it's almost like the speed of the game. It takes them a while to get acclimated again. You take 4 years off and come back.
That would be really hard. It would be really hard. I mean, you can get your body physically ready to play, but the rhythm and timing it takes to be an offensive player, that's going to take a while.
So Galindo at third. He had the stolen base and then went to third on the throwing error. He had 14 stolen bases at San Jose before coming to Richmond, so no stranger to causing some havoc on the bases.
Steady diet of off-speed pitches to Schroeder.
Jordan Cooper has given up a run this inning. Like to clamp down here. Payoff pitch on the way to Schroeder.
Got him. Good changeup right there. Great motion with it. Got some tail. There's times in a ball game when you're a pitcher that even though you're not a strikeout guy, you need a strikeout. And boy, Cooper needed it right here. And that is an excellent changeup right there. Turned it over, had him out in front. You could see him reaching from the very beginning. His hands came forward. When he did, he was in trouble.
You couldn't even tell with the pitch. You could tell by the swing. Here's Rando Marino. We featured him in the open. He's had a base hit and a stolen base. Average up over 306. While the light rain starts to fall here in Richmond.
Need an out if you're Cooper right here to stay in the ball game. These are those scenarios where you know your day could be over as a pitcher if you don't get an out right here.
Everybody clap your hands.
Few umbrellas out at the Diamond. 2-hour-plus rain delay last night with almost 10,000 fans here. More fireworks after the game, so they're hoping this rain passes. Marino lays off that pitch. Quickly worth mentioning, we got Galindo at third base because Cleveland affiliated, or I should say Akron affiliated with Cleveland. There is a DH. Otherwise, were two National League clubs going head-to-head, the pitchers would be batting. So you have Galindo in that 9th spot, and he stands at third base right now trying to score another run.
You know, it is interesting. I do like the rule because, these pitchers that are playing in the National League need to learn how to bunt and do the things. So it gives them the opportunity. But on the backside of that.
Slow ground ball to Hankins at second. Has a hard time getting that ball out of his glove.
Well, he does a nice job, but didn't panic right there. Hankins, he caught the ball, went in once, but he knew he had time, got his shoulder squared, made a good throw, and that's a big out for Cooper to stay in the game.
tonight here at the Diamond in Richmond. Flying Squirrels lead 2-0. The Rally Pig might be my favorite to this point, but Jack Berry joins us from Richmond Regional Tourism. He's the president, and we've talked a lot about your city here tonight, but we're going to give you a chance as well. But thanks for your time this evening.
Well, thanks for having me here. The funny thing is that ever since the Flying Squirrels came to Richmond, we have been on a roll. Just to give you an example, American Express Travel named the top 10 destinations to visit this year. Richmond's number 1, Chicago's 2, Milwaukee's 4. And so we are on a roll because last year, Frommers told us the same, is that we were a world-class destination. Of course, now we've got tons of sports. We've got the Flying Squirrels, but we're also hosting the UCI bike race coming in September.
Bike race, you've got training camp as well for the Washington Redskins coming up. So you're right, it's a busy time of the year and a busy city.
Well, actually, the Houston team is coming.
Yes, they are.
But if you think about it, every team that has visited Richmond in their training camp has won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Because last year we had, of course, the New England Patriots were the first team to visit. So Houston saw that success, and they're coming.
Well, I live in Houston, so right now, the fans of the Texans are saying thank you very much for that plug. They appreciate that endorsement.
Great.
Talk to us about some of the other things. I mean, obviously, the history here in the state of Virginia is unbelievable, and around the Richmond area itself.
Everybody knows us for history, and that's, of course, our DNA. But what's really on the market is the restaurant scene. People are making their travel decisions. It used to be on history, it used to be attractions, then it used to be on shopping. Now it's restaurants. We have 900 restaurants, and we've become a mecca for Washingtonians and Baltimore and New Yorkers to come to visit our restaurants. So I hope while you're here, you can take a sample of these great restaurants.
Well, that's outstanding.
Governor's already invited us to the mansion. I mean, we got a busy social calendar.
We do. This is going to be hard for us to get all this in.
Also, of course, we've got New Stone Brewery's going to be coming. They're from San Diego. They brew more beer east of the Mississippi than they can possibly manufacture, so they're coming. So not only is it the cuisine, but it's the wineries, the breweries. So we are just on fire. But again, it's back to when the Squirrels came here, everything has come up positive since then.
To go with the restaurants, you can see right here, we got the different brews coming out, the different colors, dark, amber, all the different ones. But the restaurant, it's all varieties too. It's not just one style of restaurant. I mean, it's a variety of everything from sushi to barbecue.
And affordable. We have the top 10 crab cake here in Richmond at one of our local restaurants, and we're not even on the coast. And so also, of course, we're a NASCAR hub, and that the last race for the Chase is here in Richmond, and that's coming in September as well. So we've got, of course, the Redskins coming, we've got NASCAR coming, we've got the bike race coming. But this is a very important day in history for sports, because today is the 40th anniversary of Arthur Ashe defeating Jimmy Connors. And actually over to the left here is the Arthur Ashe Center. Right. Arthur Ashe is from Richmond and grew up on the tennis courts here in Richmond, and then went on, of course, to Wimbledon fame and became the ambassador for the United States tennis.
That's outstanding. See the tennis center right there.
Tennis center's right there. Arthur is from here and just is one of the best citizens we've ever had. Actually, his statue is on Monument Avenue, just a short distance from the Diamond here as well. So, you know, we've got all the sports going.
We've got it covered.
We do have it covered.
Good word as the rain starts to fall a bit here in the top of the 6th inning. Jack Berry from Richmond Tourism joining us as Mejia continues to work, and that one ripped foul wide of third. Tell me what it's like during the NASCAR race week in town.
NASCAR weekend, that's usually one of the highest occupancy weekends, obviously, because we have about 60,000 people coming from out of town. You know, they stay at the hotels, they come, they have a great time. But it's also significant because it's the last race that the racers can be eligible.
Qualify for the chase.
For the chase. So there's a lot at stake. It's always fun because there's 3 to 4 that are on the bubble. And, you know, of course, when you have March Madness, who's going to get in? Well, it's the same thing in Richmond. Is that who is going to make it into the chase? And so Richmond, and it's a wonderful race out here, and it's just a short distance right from the Diamond here. So, you know, the funny thing is that we don't, you know, we've got AA baseball here. We've got tennis, of course. We've got the bike race coming. We've got the camp. But the NASCAR is we are fortunate because we have 2 weekends a year for NASCAR.
2 races a year.
And most destinations don't have that.
Yep.
And so we're very, very fortunate. And the governor is extremely supportive of the NASCAR circuit.
Bryson Miles, the batter, here with 2 outs in the 6th inning. Mejia working through the rain as a strikeout and a pop-up, hoping to finish off this frame, and we're hoping to get this game in. Otherwise, we can go visit some of those restaurants Jack Berry speaks of. And Keith, when he mentioned they're producing more than people can consume, I think that has our names.
Well, it did have something. It had something to do with it. I was going to ask him if he had a crab cakes, which one of my favorites. He said was very good. Did you have another delicacy from the area that you think is really good if people need to partake if they come to town?
We have every cuisine from sushi to French. And of course, everybody wants to know what's my favorite of the 900 restaurants. It's like having 900 children. You do not have a favorite. So I can't recommend one in particular. But the beauty is that when Washingtonians come down for baseball or for art at the Museum of Fine Arts, all of a sudden they will go to a restaurant, the bill will come, and they just can't, they think it's a mistake because typically it's under $100 for a couple or for 4. And it blows them away. In Washington, you can't get lunch.
That's right.
For under 100.
That's Jack Berry. We thank you for joining us. It's been a fun night. Richmond leading 2-0 over Akron. That's the band The Remnants. They perform before the game here at the Diamond. They have some shelter. They've got the 4th of July patriotic gear going. Get the fans going as well.
Yeah, they were setting up when we were getting here, doing a little sound check. Ripping the guitar.
Hunter Cole leads off the last of the 6th inning. As the raindrops continue to fall, we play on. A crowd just under 8,000 here tonight. Last night, Cole hit a home run in his first at-bat here at the Diamond. Tonight, a single and a strikeout. And Jordan Cooper remains in this game.
Well, he kept himself in the ballgame by getting that big out in that 5th inning. Gave himself an opportunity here. He needs a quick inning. It's going to start to get slick. Pretty steady rain at this point.
Up over 80 pitches on his night. Right now he's facing the heart of the lineup, 3, 4, and 5 for the Flying Squirrels, leading 2-0.
Boy, his ability here in really his last 40 to 45 pitches for Cooper's done a nice job. He's found his changeup. Brendan, you know, when you're a guy that changes speed, can't overpower, you got to have the feel for it. He found it. He did not have it early, but he's done a nice job of coming back, and it's been a big pitch for him.
See his line on the night. That one just slipped right out of his hand. Cole, Delfino, and Oropesa this inning for Richmond. Flying Squirrels won last night 7-3. That's 2 in a row from Cooper that have missed badly. You see him kick some of the mud out of his cleats before he's ready to step back up on that hill. I hate to say it, but a little more rain and this field might need to be covered.
Well, it's about the mound and the plate. You can't play without those two having the capabilities. There's some other places that can get slick that you can deal with, but if the mound and the plate get slick, you can't play.
Here's a payoff to Cole on that one. High again, so Cooper got ahead in the count and then lost Cole. That's a free base runner to start
The third baseman, number
Richmond
10,
6th.
Mitch
Seems going back behind the mound is Cooper really trying to get those cleats cleaned off right there, as they will start to get somebody up, probably in the Akron bullpen.
You got a walkie-talkie going? Who needs a bullpen phone anymore when you got the walkie-talkie?
That's exactly right. It's a private message.
Mitch Delfino steps in. Bounced into a double play his last time, not this time. Into the right field corner, and the ball gets by Moncrief. Moncrief has a tremendous arm, and he tries to show it off on the fly from the track. But late, Delfino has a double. And the Squirrels have 2 men in scoring position.
Breaking ball that stayed upstairs. Really nice job of hitting. And Montgomery, this is about the moisture. The ball catches the dirt. Now watch this ball. It catches and bounces back behind him. A lot of times that ball will scoop. That's about the moisture. And the ground being soft, it just grabbed. Right here, you can tell that's going to be in. He's going to know he's going to make it to third. And then the ball gets away, allows the runner to get to second. So second and third with nobody out.
For Ricky Oropesa, 3rd round pick out of USC. With the infield in. Now a mound visit as Lucas is going to talk this one over with Cooper. He navigated trouble in the 4th. Leadoff walk led to a run in the 5th. It's a walk and a double here in the 6th as the Rubber Ducks get some activity up in their bullpen. Lewis Head.
This is some time right here to allow Head a chance to get loose.
And Oropesa, who leads this team in RBIs with 46, last had one on June the 23rd, so it's been a long time. His father's cousin, Eddie, a pitcher that defected from Cuba, played in the major leagues for the Phillies, Padres, and Diamondbacks.
Don't give in right here. You do have an open base and a right-handed hitter behind him.
2-0. Got that outside corner for a strike.
A little cutter out there.
Oropesa, you see him drafted in the 3rd round. Eastern League All-Star, one of the 4 Flying Squirrels in that All-Star game.
Pretty good looking numbers right there.
Sure are. A couple of RBI opportunities as he hits one foul wide of first.
Well, these are the ones that, as a hitter, I used to call them give-me's. You got men on second and third, nobody out in the inning. You got to stay very patient, stay in the center of the diamond. You know, you just hit a ball to the center fielder right here. You've done your job.
Squirrels leading 2-0, a chance to add to it. He laid off and the count has gone full.
That's a real good note for young hitters. Sometimes to be a good offensive player, it doesn't show necessarily up in your numbers, but you take advantage of what the opponent is giving you. What the opponent pitcher, what they're doing right here with the infield up, they're basically saying with an open base, we're not going to give you anything to hit. You got to take advantage of that and get one pitch in one spot and just play offensive baseball. If you think about pulling the ball here, maybe driving it out of the ballpark, you're playing into the pitcher's hand.
Here's the payoff to Oropesa. Pop one up in the foul territory. Sever has had a couple of plays. Boy, nearly slipped. He did slip, but he almost fell. That's out number 1. So Sever had his catcher Lucas bump into him earlier. This time Mother Nature just about got him.
Well, you can see him right here. He's having to look up into the raindrops, and then right there, look at that foot almost come out from under him as it comes back to the field of play. Able to make that play. Another timeout here. This is, again, I think we're at a point here where they're trying to get the bullpen ready to go. They would like to make a move here. I do not think that Cooper's going to stay much longer. This is one of those times where the home plate umpire is going to come out and say, all right, guys, we got to get going. And about that time, here come the manager, and there'll be a pitching change. It's just a little bit of a delay.
Dave Wallace has already made that call to the bullpen. The night is over for Jordan Cooper after 5 1/3 innings of work. We talked about both of these clubs up over 500 despite all the roster movement, and that's common, of course, at Double-A. But Akron comes in 43 and 39, and Richmond 41 and 38. And that's the Western Division of the Eastern League.
Well, hey, look at those 4 teams separated by 3 games.
Trenton leading the way in the West. Meanwhile, of course, these 2 teams, no surprise, over in the East. And there's your Akron and Richmond records. And Bowie, 47 wins.
About a 5-game lead, though. The one that jumps off the page to me, a 5-game lead in the loss column for Bowie right there. They've seen out 2 earlier this season. But Akron and Richmond, pitching. Both of them outstanding on the mound.
They do not play halves here in the Eastern League. Meanwhile, new pitcher Lewis Head comes on for the 28th time. You see a lot of innings of work, 36 plus.
He's got good stuff. He's one of those guys that you look at and say, what does he got to do? It's about command. The big number that jumps off the page right there, Brett, to me, 24 walks and 36 innings coming out of the bullpen. You know, you got to cut that down. You cannot give the free pass up. When you come out of the pen, more times than not, you have runners on base, as he does right here. You've got to be able to command your stuff.
He was drafted in the 12th round, 2012, out of Texas State. So maybe he's your neighbor, Keith, as you look at the ERA leaders. And we talked about this in the open. These two teams pace the Eastern League. And it's not just that they're 1 and 2. It's that they're barely above 3 runs a game.
Yeah, you can see him, both of them right there. Bowie, who leads one division. Pitching usually is a dominant force, 60 feet 6 inches away. If I have to be special as a team, I'd rather be special there than any place else.
I wonder if Head would have been at Texas State at all when Goldschmidt was there, whether he came after him.
I would think they would be there at the same time.
Yeah. Austin Slater is the batter. You see his line tonight, 0 for 2. Stanford product has had just 25 at-bats with the Flying Squirrels this season. Infield in, a couple of men in scoring position. That ball kicks away from Lucas, but it doesn't get far enough away for Cole to be able to score.
Lucas at least got his front shoulders down enough that the ball, even though it got away laterally. And especially to the third base side, because that fools the runner at third. If it goes away from the runner's got a better chance to read it than he does coming at him.
So Lucas, for the time being, may have saved a run. The count, 1-0. Head gets the strike.
Well, I think he's a strikeout type guy. This is one of those scenarios where he's going to be trying to make perfect pitches. But the switch hitter on deck needs that strikeout.
Talk about coming out of the bullpen. You see 2 runners in scoring position. The raindrops coming down, having a hard time maybe gripping that baseball. It's a lot to deal with, and the count now 2-1.
I think you'll see him pitch a little backwards too. You can see a breaking ball right here with that open base.
Little chopper first base side. Rodriguez will freeze the runner and get out number 2. Big play.
That's exactly what he went to. He went to that breaking ball right there. And got the out he needed. Sometimes it doesn't have to be a strikeout. And Akron, you can see why their pitching has kept them in a lot of ball games this year. They've made good pitches when they needed to tonight.
So Lewis Head from Katy, Texas, outside the Houston area, gets out number 2 against Austin Slater. Now he must contend with Beltre, who walked last inning and scored the 2nd run.
There's nothing fancy. It's fastball slider, and the fastball's at 93, 94 miles an hour.
Walk and a double to start the inning, but a pop-up and a ground-out since. Keith, really, each team has had several opportunities to either get on the board or add to their lead.
Yeah, but the pitching staffs have made pitches when they need to make it a ball game.
It's followed our storyline. I like it, and that's a foul ball by Beltre for strike 2.
Seen some opportunities with men in scoring position with less than 2 outs and just hadn't been able to get that big hit when they needed it. Neither team, really.
See Delfino with his walking leadoff second. Hunter Cola's at third. And that backdoor breaking ball missed, but not a bad 2-strike pitch.
You can see him going about shoulder high over the plate with the high fastball right here.
Beltre bats 7th in the Flying Squirrels lineup. Couple of homers, 10 runs knocked in here in the Eastern League. Not exactly a comebacker, but a nice athletic play by Head to end the inning. So runners at second and third and nobody out, but the Flying Squirrels do not add to their 2-0 lead. Good job by Lewis Head. Well, the grounds crew, they were busy between innings. Even with the rain coming down, they had time to put on a show. With that umbrella hat, Keith, that'd be a good look.
I don't know. It's choreographed pretty well. I'm sure it's prime time, but well, they were having fun.
Yes. Yohan Gregorio comes on to replace Mejia, and he works now as we get into the top of the 7th inning. There's the numbers for Gregorio on the season.
Great arms slot. You know, he's a guy, that big, tall guy. He's got a great arm set. 90, 91 with a sinker. Command of his breaking ball will be important. You can see the good numbers. The whip almost at 1, so he's only allowing about a base runner per inning with walk and a hit.
Jordan Smith, St. Cloud State product in Minnesota, will lead off. He's made a diving catch for us tonight. Takes ball 1. A couple of bounce outs, though, on his ledger, 0 for 2.
That's a good arm slot. You can see it. As a hitter, you have a tendency to swing over the top of the baseball because of where his arm slot is and his velocity and the way the ball comes down. It's got a little movement away from the left-hander.
No, it had too much movement. Last year, split time between low A and high A, and Augusta and San Jose in the Giants system. Facing the 8-9 and 1 hitter. Here in the 7th, light rain continues to fall in Richmond.
Well, the one big term that you use is for this young man is command. If he could command the strike zone, he doesn't give up a lot of base hits.
Now he sees the count go to ball 4, and he'll put Smith on to start the 7th. Last base hit for the Rubber Ducks was a single by Sever in the 4th inning, but they've had a handful of free base runners tonight. That was the one thing that got Mejia into some jam.
He did, but he's able to make pitches when he needed to. Boy, a long look in after that pitch by the big right-hander that time. He wanted to know where that pitch was. Got to keep your composure. Find out where the strike zone of the umpire is. You come out of the bullpen, a lot of times you're not sure what exactly is a strike and not a strike.
It's a great point. As a starter, you might fight it for a while, but at least you have a pretty good idea.
Yeah, you know that, hey, if I throw it right there, it's going to be a ball. But if I throw it right here, it's going to be a strike. When you come out of the pen, a lot of times you don't know that. Sometimes as a catcher, you can help a guy out. Say, hey, he's not calling anything in.
Talk about the importance of catchers working with their pitchers, calling the game oftentimes. There's a chopper to third. Delfino went up high to get it. He may start. No, it's not going to be a double play. With the lead runner, Smith, retired. Slater's had an interesting night at second base. This time he made sure he got the one out. I thought he had time, though, to try and get that throw off.
I don't think the exchange went well. The throw, the feed was down low. Tough play going up. Watch his feet down low. He just didn't have a chance to get it. The transition didn't go well. And, you know, that was a smart play. If it doesn't go well, don't force the issue. Get the out.
And here's Hankins, who's 0 for 3, so the lineup is turned over. Akron has stranded 2 runners in 3 of the last 4 innings. Got another man on here in the 7th. Yet to score. That one nearly hit Hankins. Out of Seminole Community College in Florida. Another one of the All-Stars.
Look at that, 24 extra base hits.
But 4 for his last 39, so the last 2-3 weeks have been tough. Another chance for a double play. Low throw. Gregorio had a double clutch waiting for Marino.
Communication problem right there. Always know before you throw a pitch. As a young pitcher, you go to the mound, turn and look at second and short. Who's got the bag on a ball back to me? You could tell Gregorius had no idea who was covering, so he didn't know where to throw the baseball. Watch as he catches. He doesn't know. Right here, who's covering? And they're both right there. You don't know. You should have had a communication before the pitch. That's a double play and should be out of the inning. And that's just the little things you're learning. It is a growth process. It's about growing as a baseball player, but that's a little thing right there that should always know as a pitcher who's got the bag on a ball back to the pitcher.
That's a great point, Keith, but let me follow up on that. Was there miscommunication between Marino and Slater?
Absolutely. I don't think they communicated with each other who had the bag on a ball back to the pitcher.
They were both there.
Yeah. You all, the three in that triangle, somebody has to say, I got the bag. And that way the other two guys know who it is.
So a couple of opportunities for double plays. This inning could be over. Meanwhile, Rollinger, who has walked all 3 times, gets to bat again. And remember, he represents the tying run. A long ball makes this a brand new game despite all the pitching we've seen from Mejia and Gregorio.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to hit one out of here, but the wind has definitely changed. The ball will carry to left right now.
Two-0 pitch. Hankins was off with the pitch and he slipped. He just stopped. The pitch was in there for a strike.
He's going to ask for time. You're right. He's going to go out and try to do a little gardening out in the base pass because he did take off. There was no question he was headed to second and just didn't get the footing.
It's a wonder he didn't do a header. He stayed on his feet. He was able to get back to first, not get picked off. In the air to left. Schroeder waiting for this one to come down through the raindrops. And he makes the catch to end the inning. So a man left. Stretch time in Richmond. The Flying Squirrels lead the Rubber Ducks 2-0. Here's your game recap from the diamond. The Flying Squirrels will run in the first on the home run from Schroeder and then a run in the 5th. So it's 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Earlier tonight, we also had a chance to see Jeff Jarrett down on the field during some on-field shenanigans. Professional wrestling champion, founder of Global Force Wrestling, and he joins us up here in the booth.
Guys,
how are you?
We got some rain. You got to love it. We got to love it.
You said earlier when we were coming on that you didn't mind wrestling in the rain.
I love wrestling in the rain. You know, August 29th, we're going to come here. I'm going to get right into the plug. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Global Force Wrestling. We're coming here, right here to the Diamond. We're going to set the ring up right on home plate. You know, we are in the midst of our Global Force Wrestling Grand Slam Tour. We're going to minor league ballparks. We've been to Jackson, Mississippi, Jackson, Tennessee, Knoxville, Bowling Green. We're headed to Appleton, Wisconsin, Erie, Lake County this coming Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And people ask, that's pretty cool. You're going to have a wrestling event outside. What are you going to have if it rains? And I said, we're going to do exactly what these folks do. We're going to, if it's lightning, we'll have a little rain delay. Yep. If it's just a little showers, we're going to keep that ring on home plate, and the boys are going to wrestle in the rain.
It would seem like that minor league baseball maybe is the perfect avenue. I mean, they love to have fun in these venues, and it kind of feeds right into what you guys like to do with this crowd.
You know what? And I've always said that professional wrestling and baseball, it's not a 2-generational form of sport or entertainment. It is 3-generational. Grandmas, grandpas with grandkids come out, have a great time, and that's what we're all about. Is having a good time. Family-friendly entertainment, and that's exactly what we're going to do in the middle of the Grand Slam Tour. But at the Diamond, we're very excited. You guys had Parney up here earlier. Is that guy a camera hog or what? I mean, he's got to show the rings. Come on now. He's got to show. I mean, he wouldn't shut up. You guys, you might as well throw the headsets down and said, all right, Parney, take it for 2 innings.
We thought about so. Then the governor came up, and he kind of continued the theme. He had some energy as well. So
he did. Now, it's a great time out here.
You guys don't have any problem having fun, too, when y'all are wrestling either.
Absolutely. You know, I've got a couple of guitars here with me tonight, and they made me promise that I would not bring a guitar in the press box to smack over either one of your heads. But I've got one especially for Parney, if that's okay. Not the governor, just Parney.
Yeah, you scared me there for a while when you started that with the guitar over the head. But yeah, we'll be willing to participate. Get a camera out if you want to go find Parney.
No, it's a lot of fun. And you know, minor league baseball, we were down at the Round Rock.
Del Diamond.
The Del Diamond. Yeah, earlier this year on a TV game. game, and things really got put in motion, and just the momentum that we've really picked up. And professional wrestling, you know, and minor league baseball, it does go hand in hand. And people come out and want to watch a wrestling event under the lights, under the stars. It's very, very cool. I know you got to call this pitch here. I'm going to lay out for you, okay?
Maybe even a chance for a base hit. Now, a little bobble, but still an out at first, and there's one gone.
Now, everything would be involved. Tag team matches, singles, everything will be involved. How many fights will be on the card?
We're going to have 7 matches at the Diamond. Kevin Nash is our legend, and everybody knows who Kevin Nash's movie just came out this week, Magic Mike. But, you know, we're going to have the Bullet Club, which is the hottest faction in all of professional wrestling. We've got a card top to bottom. Professional wrestlers from literally 5 different continents that are going to be here in Richmond on August 29th.
Oh, that's it. Now, give that date again.
August 29th, right here at the Diamond. Really cool. You know, I was down visiting in the clubhouse and talking to the manager, Augie, and a couple other guys, and they were huge wrestling fans, and they're like, why do you got to have it on the night
when
that
they're
we're on the road?
That's right. You ought to do it early and then let them play baseball afterward.
Well, that has happened on occasion, but you know what? We're all about coming in these ballparks. You know, you guys know better than I do. Minor league baseball has 71 games, 61 games. How many?
70 plus?
70 plus in a season, and that means the ballpark sits empty several nights, and so that's where Global Force comes in. We want to come in and really give a great night of family entertainment for the fans to come out and enjoy some great professional wrestling. We're very fan interactive. We have a absolutely great VIP experience where fans can come in, get autographs. It's the accessibility that we're all about, and that's something that really excites me. Being
there's always a few surprises.
Before I was a wrestler, before I was a promoter, I was a wrestling fan, and I always wanted to come out and get autographs, and we're going to allow that.
I bet the fans eat that up.
Are you kidding me? You see before ball games. What do the kids do? Hey, give me an autograph. I was down there. There's a picture from Vanderbilt, and I'll let you call this. See, I'm trying to lay out.
Ball hit well to left field. We'll let you finish.
There was the kid from Vanderbilt, Beatty. And literally, we were in there in conversation, and all of a sudden, he looks up and literally catches it like this, and it was a Sharpie and 4 cards. He signs them where we're talking and frisbees them back. It's cool, but that's what it's about. The kids want to come out. The families want to come out. They want to get autographs. They want to get up close and personal. That's what we're about.
Hey, great job. Thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you, guys. Hey,
out here at the Diamond.
Are we going to finish this game in this rainstorm?
Yeah, but geez,
right, you know what? You're getting body slam right now.
It's just a little. It's just a little
Jeff
moisture.
Jarrett. On we go to the 8th inning. Heart of the lineup for the Rubber Ducks, trailing 2-0. Anthony Gallus to face Gregorio. We're going to talk about the Giants' prospects this inning. Some of the men that Augie has a chance to run through Richmond.
Well, throughout their organization, I can guarantee when we get to see this list, and I've looked at it, so I do have a little bit of advantage, but I guarantee it's got pitching on it.
Oh, I bet you're right.
That's the Giants, just from top to bottom, they've done an outstanding job as an organization, and I think that's the reason they've won 3 out of the last 5 world championships. Is the fact is, just look at that, right? Of their top 5 prospects in their organization by a lot of different folks, and you rate those, only 1 non-pitcher.
Beatty, the Vanderbilt guy, and Gallus down on strikes, and you saw the name of Kyle Crick on that list. And he's, of course, with the Flying Squirrels. Here's a guy that worked out this offseason with Shelby Miller and Michael Waka, a Texas kid. So, you know, you talk about those Texas flamethrowers, and you go work out with Shelby Miller and Michael Waka. Then you turn around and go to spring training. And before you get to Augie, you have a chance to be around Bumgarner, Kane, Peavy, Hudson, Vogelsong, Lincecum in spring training.
It's just what a great education for an idea of what it takes to go compete. And it's not just on the mound, Brett. I think the other thing that you hit a point on, it's the mentality. What you have to do to prepare yourself to pitch. I mean, because it just doesn't happen. It happens every 5 days, but there's so much that goes on in those 4 or 5 days in preparation for your next outing.
The pitching prospects here at Richmond. Moncrief is the batter, so just in the top 30. Have a chance to pitch here for the Flying Squirrels at Richmond. Our fashionista Augie has some pitching talent with which to work, and we've seen Mejia and Gregorio tonight. Part of our Minor League Baseball Sunday showcase on ASN. And He's going to be backed out of play off the bat of Moncrief. Going back to Augie, though, we talked about that 15-game losing streak that he dealt with early this year. Yeah, Bruce Bochy had to get on the phone, and he's had some tough calls too, but he placed a call, Aguasil, and just kind of offered his support and advice. And Bochy's advice was simple: hey, we've all been through it. Just stay behind your guy. And he did that, and it was rewarded with victories not that soon thereafter.
Well, negativity, this is a game of confidence, and boy, I tell you what, you can lose it, and you can lose it as a team. And he stayed so positive, and that's what Jose does. I mean, he's this positive guy and stayed positive behind his guys, and they did turn it around with a great run.
And Moncrief down looking for out number 2. Back-to-back strikeouts from Yohan Gregorio.
Just frozen with a backdoor breaking ball right here. Watch him come back and catch that corner. Just gets it, nips the corner. Couldn't pull the trigger.
So 2 batters, 2 strikeouts. And here's Ronnie Rodriguez putting a capper on that losing streak, though. After the 10th loss, Augie took to Twitter and he said, "This struggle is developing my strength for tomorrow. Enough is enough." Now, a couple of more tacked on after the 14th loss. He tweeted, "Today's a new day to go on a new path and turn things around." So you see the positivity even in social media, which was, I'm sure something foreign to the guys, those players from yesteryear like yourself that didn't have to.
There would have been 4 or 5 team meetings during the middle of that. I can guarantee you. Might have been a few spreads busted and thrown over, but that's just not Jose's style.
And he has his team at 41-38. They're leading tonight 2-0.
How about above 500? You think that's a team that's above 500 had a 15-game losing streak.
Almost right out of the gates. I mean, you're playing from behind from mid-April on. Ronnie Rodriguez, he had that hamate bone issue, so his season was delayed. 0 for 3 tonight. He comes on facing this nasty, tall, lanky right-hander, Yohan Gregorio. And time beginning to run out for Akron, so we played through some light rain, and this game to a point where the Rubber Ducks are down to their final 4 outs. You would think the Rubber Ducks would like the rain, but maybe not so. As I say that ball tattooed to left, and it's going to leave the building. Over the second level of signs for Ronnie Rodriguez. I love it when a man we feature in the open goes yard. It's a 2-1 game.
This is a young man that's just getting his swing back together, as you talked about. A fractured ham bone in his wrist, his left wrist in spring training, swinging the bat. He's just getting back into the flow of things. His hands, good shape here. Watch him come down. Good acceleration through the zone. Great extension. And you were right. This is a no-doubter. On a night where we've seen some breeze, heavy air, got out of here easily.
So now it's Joe Sever. He's singled in 3 at-bats. That's one of the 3 hits tonight for Akron. The last one, though, left the building. Made this a 1-run game. So maybe the Rubber Ducks do like the rain. Good little wrinkle there for a strike to Sever. Sever missed a lot of last year with a broken hand.
I'll go back to that old line of Ferguson Jenkins, the Hall of Famer. Solo homers don't beat you. 2-run homers beat you.
Gregorio hadn't allowed a home run since late April. And come after back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning. Little flare, and Galindo was playing so deep in right, he had no chance to get there. So Severo gets his second base hit. That's the potential tying run on with 2 outs in the 8th.
2 outs, nobody on. One of your jobs is an outfielder. You'll have no doubles in that scenario. So you'll play deep and not allow the tying run into scoring position. And this is Steve Klein on his way back out. This is, again, another teaching point. I don't think you're going to see him move right here. He's going to go back out and say, hey, you're throwing the ball well. He made one mistake. You know, that was not a mistake. That was just a good piece of hitting just to muscle that ball into right field. So keep your attitude right, keep your poise as a pitcher, and attack the zone.
So Steve Klein back to the dugout before we see Bryson Miles. Meanwhile, that's Jose Casilla warming in the bullpen. Miles is 0 for 3. Grand Prairie, Texas native. Had a meniscus tear in his right knee last year that limited him to 84 games.
Nice job right there. Pitching coach comes out, first pitch fastball in the zone.
Quickly, 0-2 from Gregorio to Miles.
Boy, that's a dynamite. Best slider of the day. Good arm slot. Had good. It was moved twice. It went away and down. So it's two plane movement there on that slider.
That's one you're hoping you can resist. 0-2. We might see it again. Great job by the catcher Williams.
Yeah, we told you that Williams was outstanding defensively. That was a worm killer too. About 48-footer. You just don't anticipate that one being that. You call slider, yeah, it could be in the dirt, but you think it's going to be somewhere around the plate, not 4 foot out in front of the plate.
Well, if that ball gets by Williams, Severs in scoring position representing the tying run. Last night it felt like half the runs scored on wild pitches or pass balls, and that time Williams saved a base, at least for the time being. Boy, maybe a little bit high. 2-2.
Well, I'm going twice. If I'm calling pitches here, he's gonna TC 2 sliders. See if he can lay off one. Don't want to throw a hanger. I want it to make it look like a strike.
So from 0-2 to 2-2. Good job by Miles to lay off that pitch.
If you're going to call it 2-2, I think you should call it 3-2. Runner will be in motion. Ball game on the line with this pitch.
Extra base hit could tie the game. Remember, there were 2 quick outs this inning with Richmond leading 2-0 before the Ronnie Rodriguez homer. Joe Severs singled, and he'll be off here on the payoff. This one high in the air, should find the seats and will amongst the umbrellas.
I guess you could use that as also a shield on a pop fly or a foul ball if you wanted to. You're protecting from the rain, but it might protect you from baseball as well. It might.
See some of the raindrops on the helmet of Bryson Miles. He's had quite an at-bat sequence here against Joan Gregorio. Sever. That's a balk, of course. Oropesa was not holding Sever, so the balk will put him in scoring position. So now just a base hit with 2 outs.
Just forgot that they weren't holding the runner. He comes right here. He should see that there's no first baseman. At least he doesn't throw the ball. I've seen that ball get thrown away, and it's a live baseball, even though it's a balk. Now, runner into scoring position, much different scenario right now.
Outfielders very deep. A base hit with 2 outs should tie the game. Here's a payoff. It's low. The count was 0-2, and then Gregorio ends up walking Bryson Miles. So here come the Ducks with 2 outs in the 8th.
I think you're going to see a move right here, and we do. And this is one of those mental times, one of those growing times for a young pitcher. It's a much different scenario, and that's why right now is a teaching moment. You're all the time trying to teach young men. it's going to be positive. You got to take it in a good tone and say, you know, you created this and you know why. It's a mental mistake. Now all of a sudden your team's in a jam.
Next week on ASN, our minor league baseball Sunday showcase will be the Pacific Northwest, the Spokane Indians against the Hillsboro Hops. The Indians have been around forever. The Hops just outside of Portland, affiliated with the Arizona Diamondbacks in the Northwest League. And, well, they were champions last year. So brand new ballpark when that ball club joined the Northwest League, and you'll have a great time.
It's fun. That is a good league. I spent some time in Helena and some of the other places in that league, and it's that first time out for a lot of players to play professional baseball, and it is a heck of an experience to know you're going to play every day. A lot of guys play in college or high school. They play maybe 3-4 times a week. Professional ball, you play every day.
Jose Casilla on. You see his earned run average 1.74, just 8 walks in 31 innings. And he is the younger brother of the Giants reliever Santiago Casilla. He's had some elbow problems in his career, but last year was here for 41 games and much better numbers this year as he's repeated his tour in Richmond.
Well, you talked about the command. He's had great command, great arm slot, sinker, slider. His out pitch is definitely a slider to the right-handed hitter.
Here's Diaz. Does he look a little bit like Jose Reyes to you?
He does. A lot. Noticed that the first time up. This is a pinch hitter.
Yandy Diaz. We were going to feature Yandy in the open, but
good player.
He got the night off. Leads the league in walks, but also up over 300 with a batting average. Started with a breaking ball for strike one.
Starts him off with a real good slider right there. Got opportunities here. A couple of different ways you can go now.
Came back with it again.
Slider, yeah.
It's the baseball card of Yandy out of Cuba. He's turned himself into an all-star this year. Look at the on-base percentage.
Look at those numbers at the bottom. Over 300 on the road, 373 against left-handed pitching.
3 straight breaking balls. See ya. Diaz coming off the bench with all those big numbers. He got some nasty pitches from Casilla, who strands 2 Ducks on base despite the home run from Rodriguez. Let's see this one again.
He just starts him out, just nips the corner, takes a little bit off of that breaking ball, more of a curve than a slider.
Second, Hankins to center.
Oh. All kinds of changes as we go to the bottom of the 8th. That's a good look at Dave Wallace. He's in his 2nd season as a manager here in Akron. And here's his top 5 prospects in the Cleveland organization. Keep in mind, that doesn't factor in Francisco Lindor, who just got called up to the big leagues. But you're talking about 2 outstanding outfielders in Clint Frazier and Bradley Zimmer. And I don't want to short the former Aggie, Tyler Naquan, either.
Well, you just look at all of those, but what a difference in the organization. And what we talked about with the Giants, all the pitching was their top prospect on the pitching side. Look at all the everyday players and being the top 5 in the Indians organization. 4 outfielders and a catcher.
I've seen Bradley Zimmer, University of San Francisco product. His brother, of course, pitcher in the Royals organization. And he's just top flight. And Clint Frazier was 1st-round pick back in 2013 out of Georgia. Meanwhile, Moreno here in the 8th inning facing a new pitcher, Inocio Tejeda.
See his numbers, 1-4-2, nice whip, almost at 1. Good breaking ball. Just changes a lot of speed. 3/4 arm slot and a fastball, change, slider, his best pitch.
Part of the lineup here for the Flying Squirrels. Their lead down to a run, so they'd like to get one back. Moreno singled in the 4th inning. Got a pitch up. Hit it to left center. Hawkins just moved from second base to center field. tested immediately, and he makes the catch. So that's a change. He's been playing second all night. And now he moved to center with Sever going from third to second. And Diaz, who struck out, went to third base.
Well, you just the interesting part of that for me is the ability to move around. If you can move around and do some different things, it sure does help you get to the big leagues.
Ball will find you, right?
Yes, it will.
So Hankins made the catch. Hunter Cole sprays one foul down the right field line and into the bullpen area. Cole with a single and a walk. Seal Tejada trying to navigate through this bottom of the 8th, heart of the lineup for Richmond. Nasty breaking pitch dropped in for a strike.
A lot of different velocities, different spins.
Swing and a miss.
And that's set up with the breaker ball. A lot of times you can set the fastball up with a breaker ball. Comes right back there, and that looks like it was 97 as he just dots the eye in the outside corner when you're looking breaker ball and the ball's by you.
You have no chance.
You had no chance. You can see Cole was behind that. Time he could recognize it because he was definitely looking for the off-speed pitch.
2 quick outs. Mitch Delfino in. He doubled down the right field line in the 6th, and it looked like the Rubber Ducks were on their way to some insurance. They had runners at second and third, nobody out. They did not score. The lead remained 2-0. And then Ronnie Rodriguez homered in the 8th to make it 2-1. So what could have been one of the bigger hits of the night ended up leading to 2 men left on. But Akron says, we feel your pain. The Ducks have left 10 men on base tonight.
They've had opportunities, and most of them via the walk.
Ducks have left more men on base than we've had visitors in the booth. That's saying something.
We've had a few folks. It's been fun, though. We've got a lot of different characters up here tonight.
We have.
It's fun being at the ballpark. Still a good crowd. A lot of them underneath the overhang have moved up. They're sticking around for the fireworks.
And even last night, there were fans that weren't able to get into the ballpark because it was sold out. They were camped on the streets all outside the diamond, all along the freeway, waiting for the fireworks. And they had to wait through the 2-hour delay last night with everybody else. But the fans here know that they're going to see a fireworks show, and they're taking advantage of that high roof, the overhang. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Delfino. Soft little line drive. Sever can't get it. Hankins was a guy we've heard rob several hits with some line drive leaping catches, but he's out there in center, and Sever couldn't get it, so Delfino continues the inning with a single.
This is a good piece of hitting. Kept those hands back. It's an off-speed pitch like a changeup. Didn't think about pulling it. Goes the other way with it. 6th hit of the night for the Flying Squirrels.
It's funny, we started this telecast talking about the 2 teams, 1 and 2 in this Eastern League, a pitcher's league for the most part, with the top 2 pitching staffs. We've seen combined 10 hits and just 3 runs. And that hit puts these teams combined into double figures, but there have been base runners now.
Well, they just make good pitches, though. You can see both of these staffs have done a nice job making their best pitches when runners are in scoring position. It's not an easy night to pitch to. You're slipping and sliding a little bit because we've had moisture since the 4th inning.
Oropesa twice has popped up to third. You see Delfino at first. That one gets away from Lucas. He can't find the baseball. Delfino moves up 90 feet, even round second base, but will hold there. All right, Keith, you talked about making pitches in key situations. You're a scout. You watch a guy. You know he's got good stuff. Working with base runners, do you give him bonus points for the ability to ratchet up his game at key times?
You know what? I do, but there's also one of those things you said, why can't you bear down like that when there's nobody on base? So It's a couple of different things that you look at that. It's about focus. It's about concentration. But you do like those guys that compete. You like those guys that, when game's on the line, that they make their best pitches. That's the first thing. I think that outweighs a little bit of why you're not as good maybe with 2 outs and nobody on as you are second and third and 2 outs.
Valid point. You should see Orepace's numbers over the last 3 years. The improvement in slugging percentage. Base hit here would provide a big insurance run for the Flying Squirrels. I think that's a swing. And our plate umpire, without the benefit of a third base umpire and a 3-man crew, agrees. He says that's a swing. That's a strike.
There's no question that the front part of his body goes around. Does the bat?
Ooh.
It does. In my opinion, the barrel of the bat crossed the plate. I don't think it's about your wrist. I think he tried to hold up, but I think his momentum carried the bat past the plate.
So now it's 2-2, and that's a swing and a miss and a strikeout to end the inning. The Flying Squirrels do not get the insurance run. So on we go to the 9th. Richmond remains up 1. Here's the K to end the inning. Part of a street fire dance downtown Richmond. Rain not washing out the fire dance. Part of our Minor League Baseball Sunday Showcase on the American Sports Network from Richmond, Virginia. We're at the Diamond, and we go to the 9th. Flying Squirrels lead the Rubber Ducks 2-1, and Casillas going to try for a 4-out save. And Jeremy Lucas, the number 9 hitter, leads things off. And while Casillas saved a couple of games this season, Josh Osich was the closer here not that long ago with Richmond. He had 19 saves before he was promoted to Sacramento about 2 weeks ago, and he just made his major league debut.
It doesn't take long. I mean, the level from what we're seeing tonight it's very small between here and the big leagues. We talked about you can make that jump.
We've seen so many players in the last couple of weeks. Carlos Correa, Byron Buxton. You think of some of those that have jumped straight from Double-A to the majors. Osich had a quick stop in Triple-A, but not that long ago he was saving games for the Flying Squirrels. Tonight, Casillas trying to do it, and he's 1 out closer on that ground ball to Delfino.
That's huge out. Takes away the bunting game, and the top of the order coming to the plate to lead out base runner. Doesn't necessarily for sure secure the game, the victory, but I tell you what it does do. It changes now what you can think offensively that you can do.
Dave Wallace and Todd Hankins may not realize Richmond 32-2 once leading after 8 innings. Their lead only a run because Ronnie Rodriguez homered last inning. Hankins has 5 home runs this season. But Casillas working with some nasty stuff tonight.
That's a good sinker to go with a great slider. Takes a different mindset to get those 25th, 26th, and 27th out.
Who was the best closer you played with?
Lee Smith. Should be a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
No doubt.
He had an easy gait about him with the way he moved. And
it wasn't easy when he was coming to the plate.
Not
it was
at all.
Velocity.
Ball and 2 strikes to Hankins. Rubber Ducks down to their final 2 outs here in the 9th.
Played with some good ones. Sparky Lyle was a great closer. Played with him. Tug McGraw was a great closer. I have to admit, Lee Smith, the best that I was around.
Hankins able to lay off that bender, that breaking ball down and out. 2-2.
Played with the guy that had a tremendous year one year, and Mark Davis won the Cy Young as a closer for San Diego.
The 2-2. Here's a play for Marino. Sets himself. Strong and accurate throw for out number 2.
There is no substitute for arm strength. Did an outstanding job. On a wet, moist night, you know you're going to get a soft, baby moist baseball. Did a great job with his feet. To be a great fielder, you got to have great feet. Marino did a great job right there. Setting his feet before he got the big hop. and then showed the arm streak across the diamond.
So it's up to Rollinger, who has walked 3 times today, fly to left, with a man on base in the 7th. If you had the under as far as fewer runs in this game than goals in the World Cup, you were right.
7.
But that 5-2 U.S. over Japan in the Women's World Cup, a 2-1 game here at the Diamond.
On the boulevard. I like that. The Diamond on the boulevard.
Garcia's retired all 3 that he has faced. In from center, and Beltray makes the catch to end the game. Keith, I thought he was playing too deep to get there.
Well, he did a nice job of reacting to the baseball. 2 outs, 1-run game in the 9th. You're going to play no doubles. Great reaction, comes in, makes an outstanding play to end the ball game. Exactly what we thought we were going to see. Breaking ball stays up, ball hit pretty well. Watch the reaction right here. Everybody watching, coming in, and just out of your picture, comes up with it. And then flips it up there. I'd like to see him go get it with his hand, but he does get the out.
Fun night at the ballpark. We'll step aside. Richmond over Akron in Eastern League action, our final 2-1. 2-1 win tonight for the Richmond Flying Squirrels over the Akron Ducks. You see the 10 men left on base for Akron. Keith, they had their chances, but they faced some pretty good pitching.
Well, they did an outstanding job. Did you see that number? That's the big one. The runners in scoring position, they were 0 for 5. They had opportunities in the 4th and the 6th to get on the board. The only way they got on the board was a solo homer, but you got to give some credit to these pitching staffs. Both of them tonight, really, we thought as the game started they would dominate, and they did in a 2-1 ball game.
And a run that stood up early was a home run from Miles Schroeder, leading off the bottom of the 1st. He's standing by with Monica McNutt.
Miles, that was the key run, kind of getting your team going. What was going through your mind during that at-bat?
Just leading off the game, you want to get a good at-bat and, get a good pitch to hit, see as many pitches as you can, and just try and work the pitcher. And, I mean, the more pitches you see, the quicker we get them out towards the end of the game.
So you got it going for your squad, got him on the board, but then your pitcher tonight, Alberto Mea, just doing a solid job. Talk about his performance.
He did really well. He just got here, not too long ago, and, he's just solid out there, and he's got good stuff, and he's young, and, he's got a big future ahead of him, and, we're just glad to have him and glad to have him, out there tonight and helped us out a lot.
What do you guys take away from the victory last night and tonight and going into the final game of the series?
Yesterday we put up a little more runs, and today was a little tighter game, but you take a lot of pride in those tight games, and that's you find out what kind of team you are in those tight games, and we've kind of started the season off a little bit slow, and had a big slump there, and this team turned it around, and we're just trying to build from there, and we've been doing pretty well lately. So.
Good stuff, Miles. Congratulations. Enjoy the win.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Brett, back up to you guys in the booth.
Thanks to Monica and Miles. Miles had the home run that gave Richmond the early 1-0 lead, and they win 2-1. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this. Richmond over Akron 2-1 from the Diamond here in Richmond, Virginia. It's been a busy night. It's been a fun night and a well-pitched game. Brett Dolan and Keith Moreland, we talked about it from the very beginning. We thought we'd see some good arms, and we did.
Well, we saw outstanding arms. We knew going into it, when you have 2 teams that lead the league in ERA, that we probably would have a low-scoring game, and that's exactly what we got. We saw the ball leave the ballpark a couple of times, but the difference, runners in scoring position, Akron able to come up with that base hit when they need to, that separated the game.
You're right, 2 solo home runs, but 10 men left on for Akron. They had some walks, they got some base on balls, but they didn't capitalize with that big hit when they needed it.
You've got to give the Flying Squirrels staff as a whole a good job of making their best pitches with runners in scoring position.
So Akron falls tonight to Richmond, a final of 2-1 from the Diamond. So for Keith Moreland and our entire crew, I'm Brett Dolan. Once again, our final score, 2-1, the Richmond Flying Squirrels with the victory. for scores, highlights, features, and more. Go to AmericanSportsNet.com. This has been a presentation of ASN, the American Sports Network. Your teams, your passion, your network.
What the Flying Squirrels did. You win. Every Squirrels win.